it's real. Maybe we will, though. Give up the ego. Making it feel good. Too scared to just let it go. Too scared to just let it go. Tomorrow we build. Depends on the future we want, we can make it as real. Maybe we will, though. Give up the ego. Making it feel good. Too scared to just let it go. Too scared to just let it go.
Caught up in your gravity, always end up lost in your wake. Intoxicated, maybe we can start it again. Caught up in your gravity, always end up lost in your wake. Intoxicated, maybe we can start it again. We can start it again. We can start it.
Skin for so long. Oh, I am in your head, so tell me, is it wrong? Oh, you fell under my spell, so well, so well. Oh, you fell under my spell, so well, so well. You fell under my spell. My spell, my spell, my spell. You fell under my spell now. My spell, my spell, my spell, my spell, my spell, my spell. You fell under my spell now. My spell, my spell, my spell, my spell. You fell under my spell.
Into the night, the city lights are dancing, slowly falling apart. The shadows causing an
Go on, myself. I'm cold steel stainless. My glass half full. Always said don't suffer no fools. Serpents, they dream. I bite, you call me lovely. Got a sweet tooth. Gonna get the sugar from you. When they say I'm a machine gun, I take it as a compliment. Honey, you should know I can be a weapon. I can be a weapon. Come cold blood, selfish. Your words are painless. I like when I drive and feel so dangerous. They say I'm a red flag, 'cause they want it so bad. You should know I'm holding on to what I have. When they say I'm a machine gun, I take it as a compliment. Honey, you should know I can be a weapon. I can be a weapon.
need you. Ooh, I love you. I do need you. Ooh, I love you. Love you. I do need you. Need you. I do. I love you. I do need you.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the North American Rocket League Rival Series. My name is Lottie Van Prague and we're here for week number 3 of the Rival Series. If you're just joining us, do not worry, we have plenty of action to take on for the rest of the day. And I'm not doing it alone up here. Actually, I have two guys I could call friends now, I think. Are we on friend basis there, Turtle, Stacks?
I don't know about Stacks. I'm probably not friends with Stacks. We can be friends, but
Okay.
Stacks, I'm a little bit hurt still from the last time we casted, but you know.
I mean, how is this new duo going? How are you guys feeling after casting together for the last week?
No, I thought it went well, and I thought there were some improvements made already this week. Like this morning, I got to cast with Subi. I thought that was a great improvement.
Wow.
And now I'm look, last week was the first time. It's
Yeah.
fine. You
Yeah,
know,
it's okay. It's
Everybody,
okay. You know what?
everybody's bad the first time around.
Stacks,
Just like the first time you go for an aerial. You know,
I'm still emotionally recovering from this. It's still, you don't stop, do you? It just, my feelings can't take it, man.
I stop eventually, but you know, it takes a while. That's Subi.
Hey, look, we only want love on the desk here,
Yeah.
gentlemen. So, and I believe that this duo is a love-hate relationship. It's like a married couple, which is actually a good thing in some respects. So,
Yeah.
keep this up and be nice to each other, okay, gents? Be nice, please. And of course, we're in our North American part of the show here, and I want to know where these guys are standing right now. Where are these teams at on
Yeah.
the leaderboard? Here we go. We got Bullsend right at the top there for the 1 win-to-loss ratio, and tucking underneath their same scoreline, we got Charlotte Phoenix. Really impressed with Charlotte
Yeah.
Phoenix and what we've seen so far in the weeks. Really great stuff from them. Somebody I just want to name down here in the 5th position, Compadres.
Right.
3 for 3 here. A little bit of a touch and go there from this team. Anybody kind of shocked to see in that position here, Turtle?
I mean, I'm looking at Bullsend right now. I mean, I thought that they were going to be a solid team, definitely for top 6, maybe top 4, but to go all the way to number 1, they beat Charlotte Phoenix last weekend, which was crazy. They're the reigning WGN champions, but other than that, you know, we haven't heard too much from them. So it's crazy to see them at the top of the charts right now, and they're doing it over RLCS experience, RLCS vets, and a lot of teams who have been in the rival series for a long time.
The team that surprises me is Chaos. I'm surprised they're that far down.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have a lot of talent on that team. Corrupted G, Taroko, Mektos, 3 phenomenally talented players, especially Taroko. And that combination of him and Mektos that's been so good in the twos game for so long, not getting off to a fast start. I thought they would have been at least 2-2, probably 3-1. There is one caveat there, though, Turtle. They have had a brutal start to their schedule.
Yeah.
Indeed. I mean, you know, there's a lot to play for here at the Rival Series, and you may be wondering, what is there to play for? Well, we actually have a lot on the line. It's not just money at the end of the day. It's, of course, the position to be at the RLCS, to get promoted to this all-important pro-level tournament. Of course, teams finishing 3rd and 4th place in the Rival Series will face off against 7th and 8th position from the RLCS. Yep, you're going to be against the big boys,
Yeah.
the pro teams. That's huge for some of our Rival Series
Definitely.
players, and it'd be really nice to see some fresh faces, maybe even try and battle it out against
Yeah.
some of our RLCS teams.
Yeah, and we see it all the time. You know, rival series players come in and they just get some kind of momentum behind them. Like Justin Chicago, these players come in from the rival series. It's the training grounds. It's the scouting area for a lot of these top tier teams. And then all of a sudden they just trailblaze through all of RLCS.
Of course, I did say it's not just about the money, but I didn't mention that, of course, there is money to be played for here.
Yeah.
First place is $13,000. Second, $10,000. And third place, $9,000. Fantastic stuff there, gentlemen, all across the board down to 10th place. You're in it to win it for something, and that's what's really important here about Rival Series. But, of course, our players have their eyes set on this promotion tournament and getting into the RLCS. That's the next step for everybody, wanting to get to that pro level. I mean, Turtle, talk to me about your experience and how difficult is it to work up to pro level?
I mean, Stacks would probably roast me. Anything relating to my career,
Oh,
it comes to
this
roast.
Hey, you
I'm
had a career.
terrified, man. I'm
so
scared.
paranoid.
But getting up to the top tier spot, it's hard. And now is the season to be in Rival Series. Whenever I played one season in Rival Series, and it was the most, like, it was probably more pressure at times than being in RLCS, because you have to make top 2 to even be in that promotional tournament. And making top 2 alone against everybody in Rival Series is so cutthroat. And then now people have a chance. You get top 2, you automatically promote into the RLCS. That is a huge deal and a great, breakaway for these teams.
Yeah, in previous seasons, you could go 5-2 and not get a shot at the RLCS.
Yeah.
Now, you can win only 5 matches out of 9, and if some results go your way, maybe you still find your way falling backwards into that top 4, and then to make it to the RLCS, you don't even have to beat an RLCS team in theory. You get through the rival playoffs, or even if you don't, well, you still get the promotion tournament. So this season, you get 2 shots at it. That's huge.
Indeed. I mean, it's scary stuff. We saw in Europe earlier on, Method getting knocked out of that top 4 position in the 5th position there. It's dangerous waters to be in, guys. You want to be in that top 4, so you have a fighting chance of getting to where you need to be next in your career. So it's very, very important. It's very exciting that, you get the chance with Rival Series to prove yourself and show where you guys should be. And talking about where we should be is talking about our matches and what we've got coming up here for North America. So first on our list, we've got Linked Up versus Compadres. A very exciting game for me because I want to see how Compadres are performing. We've seen Method, unfortunately, losing against, I would say, a lesser team for them as well. So that'll be interesting to see whether these guys play down to a level or whether or not they can elevate gameplay here. Match 2, we got Bullsend taking on FMG. Match 3, Linked Up takes on Upper 90 eSports. And to finish off our day, we've got Afterthought with RBG eSports. What is coming out to you guys on this schedule here? What are you excited to see, Stacks?
I think that second match, I said it earlier during Europe, that Bullsend FMG match, it could be a lot closer than people think. People who see those records, they see 4-1, 1-3, they think, okay, should be a sweep. Maybe 3-1 if FMG gets lucky.
Right.
I don't know. I think this FMG team, especially with the number of shots they were able to generate on a game-by-game basis, they could actually give Bullsend a little bit of trouble. And we saw it earlier, teams playing kind of punching upwards in the European Rival Series. If they get off to a hot start, Bullsend might be reeling a little bit.
Absolutely. Well, we've seen worse upsets, haven't we? That is
yes, we have.
Definitely.
Sure. Well, let's talk about our first match, Compadres versus Linked Up. Now, Stacks, I know you have a stack of information about these two teams because, of course, in the off-season before play-ins, we had a little bit of a grudge thing going on here, don't we? We have something to relive in this matchup potentially.
Yeah, kind of. This could be difficult to follow, but over the summer, the teams were Sosa, Skills, and Joe, and ZPS Alpha Cap Astro. So you see, that's a little different from what we have right now. They played in the WGN tournament up in Toronto. They had already made the decision by the time the finals rolled around to change the teams up, and they were gonna Alpha Cap was gonna go change teams, and Skills was gonna be coming back the other way. So they play that tournament. They don't win. Bullsend makes them both look silly. And then they go their separate ways. As fate would have it, they end up playing against, they end up both qualifying. Now they're here in the Rival Series, and finally, 3 weeks in, we get to see them go head-to-head.
I mean, that is in itself just an exciting storyline. So I'm excited to see how these two teams perform against one another. It's going to be an interesting one because Compadres, 3 for 3 right now in the standings. I mean, they're a hit and miss team. When they're on it, they're really on it, and they can beat some really good teams like Bullsend. I mean, they did beat them last week, which was insane. But it's whether or not they can be hit every single week that we come around to be playing Rival Series, and that's where you have to let that level of gameplay continue through your tournament. Otherwise, it's going to be a sad loss for you guys.
Yeah, for me, Compadres are a weird team because they've beaten Chaos and they've beaten Bullsend. And Chaos, like you said, we expect them to be a top-tier team. They come in here, they're not doing the greatest, and then all of a sudden they beat Bullsend as well, who's the #1 team right now in the league. So it's almost like Compadres. They have that spark, they have that momentum where they can get a nice win against a upper-tier team in the Rival Series, but they just fall short when it counts.
Absolutely. Well, Stacks, it's time for predictions now. I was about to cut you off there, and we can talk more about these two teams a little bit later on. But, Turtle, we're going to start with you. What are we thinking for this matchup?
I just talked about them. I have confidence going in right now. I think Compadres are really going to take this, and I think this could be the game-changing series for the entire season for them to maybe break away and start performing. Like you said, they were a little bit of a coin flip. But right now, I think really they're going to find their stride.
Yeah, I think the compadres definitely got the better of that skills for Alpha Cap trade. They're favorites here. They're not heavy favorites, but they are still favorites, and I've got compadres.
I also think they're gonna add a 4 to that win-to-loss ratio today. I think the 4 is going to be on the W side here for compadres, so I'm also going to be going with them on my team as well. Gentlemen, we're ready to go for our first game of North America, so please enjoy.
Skills, I think, is the player that we definitely have to watch for here because he gets to go up against his former team from the rival series last season, and now we remember that team from last season, how good Skills looked, how he kind of looked out of place on that particular roster. But on the other side, I think Joe Freshness probably has something to prove here because everybody's been looking at the way that season went and thinking, well, they held Skills back. And I think Joe could also be primed for a big game.
I mean, I was looking at Skills last weekend versus Chaos, and I thought that he did an amazing job. He had 18 shots and 5 goals. And that's just unreal. He is the striker, and he is going to hopefully perform and put on a showcase for us.
So after a kind of a wild offseason where a lot of these guys played together and on opposite sides, the teams have been set for a while, and we are underway with game number 1. It is Skills to try and dribble here. And can he get the turn? He can, and the shot. And the compadres strike first.
Skills, the dribble, I think he landed properly. I didn't get the best look here. Yeah, the flip and then landed cutting in. A bit of an awkward challenge, but whenever he did flip, he managed to just stop himself and get a perfect redirect.
17 seconds in. What do the compadres have for an encore? What does Linked Up have for an answer? That's going to be blocked away by Astro. And now Skills to ZPS. And that's going to be blocked all the way outside.
Yeah. I mean, we talked about him. Skills, he's the man coming through with so many shots. We're going to be looking at him to see how we can impact his offense and maybe even lead compadres to a win here and get things rolling.
This will drop down into orange territory, but will be set away. And it is Astro for the compadres. ZPS now, can he follow this? No. Joe Freshness is there. After seeing them throughout this whole offseason, it's still hard to put some of these players on their current rosters because of how often they'd played together with the old rosters throughout the summer. Here is Joe Freshness, though. That ball's going to drop down. ZPS not buying any kind of a fake and not bailing out of the way with a man coming up after him on the back wall. Astro, that shot in, will be saved away by Alpha Kep. Now ZPS blocked away by Sosa, and that's a good defensive stand for Linked Up.
Yeah, defense has been strong ever since the first goal. A bit of a mishap for Linked Up, but so far, clears have been strong, just not too many connections. But overall, I'm happy to see rotations coming through. And it's a bit of a weird thing right now. I feel like both teams are trying to kind of formulate each other and feel out a pass, see the positioning, what space they have in the midfield, where they can take themselves and push up.
Skills will watch this one go, so Sosa can play it, but it is not a very convincing play. And so Linked Up will be set back to their own zone. Here is Alpha Kep. Over towards Sosa. They need a third man involved in the play, and instead it is Skills and Astro making their way back down the field. ZPS now. He's going to have that ball roll away. Astro bringing it right back in. Not much of a breather for Linked Up. Anytime they clear the zone, it's almost like a punching bag. The ball is coming right back their way. Skills, that drive is going to be high and wide. Alpha Kep does get a piece. No rebound out to ZPS just yet. Now Joe Freshness has that one to Astro, and he will clear this away. Astro Turtle has been one of the best defenders we've seen in the rival series. That save made on the opposite end on his shot. Comes in the all-time leader in the rival series with almost 180 saves.
Wow.
Now Sosa, after that drop-down pass from Joe Freshness, nothing doing there, and Skills will send this all the way out as, at least for now,
Yeah.
the Padres seem to be in the driver's seat.
And it's just like you said, all saves for both teams. But at what point, I mean, how do you classify, and it's really an objective view for what a defender is. You know, sometimes I feel like a lot of these teams will get hammered down with shots, and it's really just a lot of challenges that will give you so many saves. And right now, that's all we're seeing, just teams trying to get in front of the ball, somebody taking a wide open shot, and that Skills coming in for the follow-through from Astro.
Skills will get his second goal of the series, and there were a lot of series last season that we saw he would be the only goal scorer, or if anybody else scored, it would be a goal here or there.
Yeah.
He was almost always the leading scorer on his team last season. Now they are looking at another. The Compadres turned aside, though. ZPS unable to score off the kickoff, but here is Skills again involved in the play. Now Astro trying to follow this himself. One more touch to leave it for ZPS.
Astro, we just complimented his defensive capabilities, but now we see a great double touch pass here off the backboard, setting up ZPS perfectly. And that's just fundamental textbook Rocket League right there. Great follow-up, and ZPS is in position.
Like a shark circling around, and he finally found a weakness, able to get the shot in. Now with less than a minute left, it is all Compadres in game number 1. Skills managed to get the full boost. Did not get the ball, but that will be sent away, and that's well done again by the Compadres defense. Here's Alpha Kepto to the ceiling to Sosa, and a shot that just would not stop rising until it hit the crossbar.
Sosa, the great pass. I think that was Alpha Kep off the ceiling. Almost pinched it in. That would have been their chance, their one opportunity this game to get something on the board. And yet, they just still trail 3 goals.
And the final few seconds will tick away here. One last chance for Linked Up to avoid a shutout. It does not seem to be happening. Alpha Kep blocked one more time by ZPS. And it looks like the Compadres have thrown a shutout in game 1.
And I really like the quality of goals we saw from Compadres. There was a mix of punishing as well as some great individual skills. You know, we saw Astro get that double touch off the backboard, as well as skills right at the beginning, starting it off strong with a great kickoff and then the flip to get the redirect on the ball. That was pretty solid from him, and he was involved with so many offensive strikes. Just a solid performance from Compadres, and Linked Up, they can't connect anything.
It is nice for Compadres fans to see their team outshoot Linked Up in that game, because they've been outshot Compadres by 40 shots so far this season. There is kind of a hitch to that. They have played more series and more games than anybody else, but still, getting outshot by that kind of margin 6 matches in, normally you're not in a position to be successful by the end of the season, but here they are, a chance to go to 4-3.
And it could be a question of, you know, say we have skills going up and pushing forward. Is he taking too many shots, or is he just, you know, getting involved just enough, and his teammates can kind of just formulate themselves around skills?
Yeah, I think skills has to be the focal part of his offense, but what he also has to do is he has to trust his teammates to come in.
Definitely.
What we saw from the Compadres was a full, well-rounded team effort to take game 1. And that's all you got to do. Take care of business against a team in Linked Up that on paper you're supposed to beat, but you have to play the games for a reason.
Yeah, and they're feeling confident. I mean, it felt like the pressure was there. There's barely any hesitation from Compadres. And right now it's all about Linked Up, pushing up, making any form of synergy right now on the field, and taking use of all this space right now. I mean, even though Compadres are pushing up, be aggressive, force that space, and try and make an opening.
First 5 minutes does not go Linked Up's way. They do not manage a goal, and that has been par for the course this season. All 3 members of Linked Up are in the bottom 5 in the league in scoring, unless you count the sub, Ghost Crash, for Upper 90.
Yeah.
Has only played 4 games. This is going to be played back in by Skills. Popped up for ZPS, who's all over this, but so too is Joe Freshness, who seems to be the only name we're talking about when we're talking about all these saves. And there's another shot on that Alpha Kep finally sends away right on cue.
And look at the passing from Compadres. I mean, the resilience right now. The earlier series from EU, I thought that was a main theme, was just constant resilience from both teams. You get any form of pressure, and you're going to keep it up. you keep the rotations going and you don't get desperate for a goal. Even if you miss a shot, you're still there to rotate in, and you're just focusing on having that possession.
To reset everybody here on what the stakes are in this match, of course, the compadres want to go to 4-3, still have a shot at least the top 4.
Yeah.
But they do have a very difficult schedule remaining. They still have to play Afterthought. They still have Zookeepers next week. And that's the end of their season. They don't even play in our 5th and final week.
Yeah.
So at least they will know they have done all they can by the end of next week to try and get their way into the top 4. But the Peeps were in that position for 2 seasons in a row. That's going to cause a lot of anxiety going into the final week, knowing you don't have any control over anything else that happens.
Yeah.
That's going to be off the crossbar. A lot of demos coming through, but no goal just yet. Another clear, this time by Joe Freshness. Does win that challenge to play it to Sosa, but again, it is Astro at the back, there to make the save, and again, the compadres come up big.
Trying to find counterattacks. Both teams, really good defense right now. I've seen so many opportunities where I've hesitated and had second doubts, but here's Sosa to finally put one in and get them on the board.
It is Sosa from Joe, the first goal for Linked Up in this series. It took almost 7.5 minutes for them to finally break through, but now they have, and more importantly, they have a lead. They've been able to stifle the compadres up to this point. But when are you most vulnerable to give up a goal? Right after you scored one, and here come the compadres. What a block by Alpha Cap. Now he's going to look for a demo, and he got it. They have to score, and they do.
Sosa, I was hesitating right now. I saw him going for this dribble. The first flick seemed a bit rough here, and then he managed to correct it. The demo comes through, and the communication is there because Sosa took his time, a bit of a premature flip, but all in all, he manages to just put it in. You just got to take it slow, wait for the demo to come through, and slot it.
The team that has been outscored almost 2-1 this season, scoring 1.2 per game, giving up almost double. It has not been pretty, but they have a goal lead here. Sosa whiffed on that one, and it will be Astro to clear it away and try to start the counterattack for a compadres team that we're not used to seeing them with a 0 on the scoreboard this late. Alpha Cap now out to the corner. Can he follow this up? He's bearing down on Skills, but Skills did get it away. And ZPS will call off Astro this time.
Right. And it's really not a matter of shots. I mean, compadres have 8 shots to Linked Up 3, but it's all about that shooting accuracy. And if you can actually find an opening and finish well, compadres just not coming up.
Now ZPS in a tough spot because Sosa didn't go with him. And again, Linked Up looking to add even more to their lead. It is Sosa with a soft bounce shot, but that is saved away by Skills. He's been getting it done on the defensive end, but been very silent in game 2 offensively. Here is ZPS trying to almost look like he was going for the ground pinch. Sosa is able to catch up to this, and it will be set back downfield with a minute to go.
Physical play is also coming out from Linked Up. Getting more aggressive, looking for demos, getting some bumps here and there. Joe Freshness, I've definitely seen his face chasing a lot of the players from compadres. And right now, that's doing wonders. Stalling time. They got 43 seconds left, and hopefully see if they can finish out this game 1, or game 2, excuse me.
Alpha Cap almost put an exclamation point on this, but Joe Freshness will score on the rebound, and it is 3-0 for Linked Up.
That first touch from Alpha Cap was unreal to get it on target, and then Joe Freshness, just an easy cleanup. I don't think compadres expected something to even get hit on target. Clear didn't come through, and that should guarantee a win here in game 2.
The final few seconds will burn off the clock yet again, and this time, unlike in game 1, it is the compadres who can't wait for this game to end.
Yeah.
Because after everything they did to Linked Up in game 1, it has been completely erased by a similar effort in game 2. At another, no, there's a save, loose rebound, but it will be collected by Joe Freshness and blocked away by ZPS. Sosa looking for one more, and he does score. Make it 4 for Linked Up.
And they're 4 for 10 right now. The accuracy, almost every time I see somebody go up for a shot, you know it's going to be on target. It just comes down to compadres having somebody in net to get a nice save. And if that's what you're relying on, that's how you know you're going to lose that game, because Linked Up, they're shooting on target.
A team that does not have a very high percentage overall, only shooting 15% as a team.
Yeah.
They come in and shoot 40% in game 2, and we are right back where we started.
And it's a complete opposite of what we just saw. I mean, compadres didn't even put one on the board this game. They had the shots, 11 shots for them, but still nothing to come up. And Skills, I mean, we were expecting to see him on the offensive. We saw nice double touches last game, something to kind of make them stand out and have some unique mechanics, but nothing.
And so often we see a team, if they're going to put up 10 shots or more, they don't have many saves because they're not allowing many shots on the other end. This was a game where the shots were just about even. It was 10-11. It was in favor of the compadres, but the defense of Linked Up was so much better than it was in game 1.
And it was all about intercepting those shots. I mean, whenever I would see Linked Up go for something, I felt like they had space and time to get a nice quality shot in. But compadres, there was nothing almost the entire time. Every time I saw them go up for something, I feel like most of those 11 shots were just getting blocked, and it was just barely hit towards the net, and then all of a sudden they come up with a save, and they can't find an opening. And that's really what it comes down to, is the quality. And the first game, they found those because of the double touches, Skills with the great dribbling, and also being able to punish when needed.
Skills comes into this matchup, again, with the extra games in hand, the leading scorer in North America, but held scoreless in that game. So he still sits on the 23 he had after game 1. But you don't want to see that too much more from the compadres, because they give off the sense of a team that they will go as far as Skills will take them. Into game 3 now. And a fresh start now for the compadres. And we'll see what they can do with it. Alpha Cap will lob this up. No other blue cars can chase it, and Sosa has to just play that off to the corner where he was hoping Joe Freshness would have it. But now Joe will get on his horse and head out to midfield, look for one more touch, but Astro is there.
Let's see if we'll see the similar trend I found throughout a lot of the rival series. Usually, it almost comes like it's like a roll of a dice. You know, one team will just blow out the other, and then the next, it's almost like they decide to swap roles. And that's something that is definitely immediate here. I'm curious to see if compadres will follow that trend.
Averaging almost half a goal less per game than the second lowest team. That would be the Zookeepers. But they put up 3 in game number 2. It is going to be Joe Freshness for Sosa. Blocked by Skills, but Joe is there, and he scores off the rebound.
And Joe Freshness, first of all, he gets a great pass in here for Sosa, who puts one on target. And then Joe Freshness, he has the mentality, the capability to stay forward and predict a great hit and challenge as well from Sosa's shot. Overall, I mean, that is a great follow-through and something that is expected from somebody who gets a pass in.
The team that has scored first in every game so far in this series, all 2 of them, has gone on to win because they've been the only team to score. It is Astro, who misses on that flip, so he needs a little help to clear this away. And with no boost, that was more ambitious than anything else, running underneath Joe Freshness. Now his shot is off the post. I think Astro was wondering if there was going to be a shot coming in from Sosa. He was in the area. That ball goes across, and now Astro will pop this away.
Counterattack.
Great touch on the defensive end from the compadres. Gets this downfield, but it is dealt with rather easily by Linked Up. Not a lot of pressure going downfield.
Yeah, I mean, they get these defensive hits, nice clears, and then they have nothing to follow it up, maybe not even a teammate upwards, and if there is, it's only just a stall, really, to try and find boost for your teammates right now. Compadres, once they get a breakaway, you got to find a counterattack and you know, not only just stall, but keep the possession in the corner and start the starving process.
Astro again waiting on the ground. Sosa will play one high to the center, and it is ZPS, not Skills, who had jumped first, that tries to clear this away. Now here comes Alpha Cap again. Only ZPS to beat, and ZPS up to the task. Now Sosa again in front. That is deflected by Skills. ZPS 1v1. You called it, Turtle, and he scores.
ZPS, we just saw a play from Alpha Cap. He was a little bit too impatient on the 1v1, but ZPS responds with the best possible way. He was so patient that entire time, and the timing was remarkable, getting the shot in just before the defender managed the challenge.
All right, so we will not have a one-sided game 3. We actually have a game on our hands here. Joe Freshness gonna play this low, and Astro had to react quickly, and he does so, and he did well to avoid the contact as well. But here come the compadres. Skills for ZPS, looking for the lead, but he's pushed it wide.
Skills did a nice job of hitting that backboard so hard, giving it enough space for the third man to come in, but there was no shot from ZPS, or I think it was Astro.
This will drop down, and Astro, all he could do is get a faint touch, and Joe Freshness didn't have nearly the power he was looking for on his shot.
Yeah.
Brought back in, though, by Sosa, and now Joe's going to have to retreat as Alpha Kep takes over. Coming up on 90 seconds. Nobody has taken control in Game 3. Not many high-quality chances. ZPS will have to wait as Alpha Kep lets loose with a drive. Sosa to follow. Nobody else can follow as both balls went high over the crossbar. And now the compadres are stuffed again at midfield by Joe, who's coming in, and that ball almost pinballed into the net.
And the pressure's still on and mounting for Linked Up. Shot after shot, they're not giving up. Alpha kept doing a great job of just keeping this ball in the corner. Look at that. He chases the ball, gets a nice hit, the pass out, and now the pressure can just keep going.
Another savior medal for Astro on a ball that looked like it was not savable, but he does climb the ladder, and he keeps compadres in Game 3. Clear downfield only as far as Alpha Kep. They are packed in like sardines right now. And Sosa finally has to scramble back, and it's a break for the compadres. Astro got that by Sosa.
Pass.
Now he has ZPS. No, he took the shot, and Joe Freshness sent it away. Now ZPS will try again, all the way across the top of the goal. Turns on one and fires another wide. Another in front, though, and Astro scores off another rebound.
I was a little bit confused. ZPS previously went for the solo shot, but now he comes back and hits a great pass to Astro. We don't see the selfish play come through, and they put one in. 17 seconds left. Let's see if Linked Up can respond. They need a great kickoff here.
They do have Sosa up for this kickoff, but Astro beats him to it. And now just playing keep away, throw the ball up in the air, but Joe Freshness is on this.
Oh no.
To his Alpha Kep. Sosa cannot get there. Final seconds, last chance for Linked Up, and nobody can dribble there. The compadres, boy, they survived at the end, but they do make it 2-1.
I have no idea how compadres managed to pull out that win. I mean, the shots relatively even here, but the pressure was all for Linked Up. I mean, it was a barrage of just offense, back and forth, instant shot after shot, and somehow compadres, they survived. They keep the defense strong, and they managed to go through.
It's every time you've ever seen Astro play a series in the rival series. He has a bunch of saves, a few shots, and then one gets through out of nowhere. And it might be the only goal he scores in the whole series, but it's huge.
Yeah.
It is very significant because it's a game winner in a 1-1 series.
And it's not the best track record to have. I mean, you'd rather have a ton of shots and a lot of goals versus a lot of saves and barely any counterattacks, you know. But it comes down to, were the rotations there? And that is, yes, the shots from Linked Up, they were pretty nice, but it seemed like a bit repetitive, and you know, I really like the fact that they kept the pressure going, but when it came down to finding a nice placement shot, there wasn't too much. You know, maybe hit a corner pocket, hit something, get some kind of weird bounce. That's what you got to focus on, and maybe even a pinch, but nothing from Linked Up. And compadres, they sneak away. I'm surprised at that.
Well, again, a team that does get outshot a lot. The compadres, they had only 5 shots in that game.
Yeah.
Joe Freshness had 6, but it wasn't enough.
There it is.
They are still down 2-1 in the series, because ultimately all that matters is goals.
Right.
2-1 to the compadres. Chance to close out Linked Up in our first match out of 4 in North America tonight.
And it's a weird topic. I feel like every league play, whether you're in the rival series or the RLCS, you find a team that is so defensive and would just prioritize defense and core counterattacks. And right now, it's risky because counterattacks are so hard to pull off in general. But now compadres, I mean, they're doing it in style and with confidence.
Joe will send this over to Sosa to his left, and now Joe will have another chance to play one up to the backboard, but defended well by Astro. Skills trying to play one indirect to Astro, but it's sent away, and ZPS has to scramble backwards to clear it off. And it is going to be ZPS again looking for Astro. Look, Linked Up have got to get some quality opportunities early on in this game. They can't afford to just throw the ball at the net and hope good things happen, because this Compadres team is a little too good for that.
Yeah, and it's something I see really constant reoccurrence is Joe Freshness and Sosa. They have great synergy right now. I feel like they find each other on the pitch so consistently, but it just comes down to that finishing shot and the placement.
Well, if you can get the shots, you will certainly have the opportunities to score against Linked Up. They only save about 2/3 of their shots, and the more successful teams, you're looking at maybe saving 75 to 80% of shots.
Yeah.
66 is not going to cut it. Joe's going to clear this all the way down to Sosa. And there's a chance to follow this up for Joe. He does. Now Alpha Kep has to go against his momentum, put the shot on, but Astro has the save.
And that was such a difficult shot for Alpha. I mean, he managed to wrap around the ball, but the defense, I mean, they respected, Compadres respected Linked Up and Alpha to get the shot, and they were in position.
Now Sosa to throw one downfield. Skills is going to have to touch this, but it will not go to a teammate. It will instead find his former teammate, Joe. Now Sosa, his shot wide, and it will be Astro going over top of Alpha Kep. That'll fall to Skills. Double touch on the way, no. Instead it's CPS, and Joe read it all the way.
ZPS, I mean, we just talked about accuracy. Can't even find it, but here comes, oh my gosh, Skills trying to find something. I'm amazed because the shots have not even been remotely near some space in the net. It's just been at the defender.
That's how you pad a lot of save stats.
Yeah.
This will go over to Joe. He got this on target, and he scores.
Match point and Linked Up respond to Compadres for the first goal again. But ZPS almost got a hit on it. Thankfully, Joe, he's gonna take that one and walk away with it. 2.5 minutes left.
As Subi said earlier in the day, almost only counts in horseshoes. A few other
What a saying.
situations. Now it's ZPS to bring this across, and Joe will clear it out to Sosa. So the stage is set now for the Compadres. They have 2 minutes to get a goal back and at least force overtime in it with a chance to finish off Linked Up. And so often you see, Turtle, when a team gets to match point, when they can't finish the job, all of a sudden the momentum shifts severely,
definitely.
and all the pressure ends up on the team that was ahead.
I mean, Compadres, you exert so much energy just trying to get the series out right away. You don't even want to think about going into Game 5. But against Linked Up, they're not putting any shots in. And Skills, where has he been at? He started out the series, really strong, and he's been quiet ever since.
Skills blocked by Joe, but he does get this ball out to the center of the field at least. Now Skills back the other way. Nobody's home, and this game is tied.
Speak of the devil, Skills. He heard me talking, and a great turnaround rotation. The double commit, they punished on that, and Skills, super easy. It's fundamental for him at this point. I mean, getting the turn right there and just knowing, I got confidence in my team to get the clear.
It's almost like they did here, you Turtle, say, hey, Skills, do something.
Yeah.
Make yourself useful.
Definitely.
Remember when you used to be good? Oh, well, there are 3 goals in the series. That is as much as anybody right now. There are, in fact, 3 players that have 3 goals. Now Astro, right at Joe. So Joe will play this through. Final minute now of regulation in Game 4. Again, must win for Linked Up for a lot of reasons, not just to stay alive in this series.
Yeah.
But if they lose this match, they drop to 1-5, and who knows what their, or rather 1-4, and who knows what their mental makeup will be for the match with Upper 90 later on. This will be Sosa. Alpha Cap needs Sosa to finish this, and he does!
Linked up, fighting right now to get at least top 6. And Sosa, he's keeping them alive. A great read off the backboard. The compadres defense nowhere to be found. And just the pass after pass, I'm telling you, it's usually Linked Up who has a lot of the pressure constantly going for them, and they just can't find the finishing shot. But when they do, it's usually free.
Well, Turtle, do you have... Oh, hello, Sosa. I was going to ask if you had any more encouragement for Skills, but never mind.
Yeah.
Sosa's put this one out of reach, perhaps.
And he's styling on them. A little bit of a freestyle. Sosa, the security goal has been achieved. Now 15 seconds left. I don't see any hope for compadres. You might want to just look to the next game and see how you can get, hopefully, away with a match point. But never mind. Astro, he's going to keep them in contention right now.
Because of course he would, right? It's a kickoff goal. It takes only 4 seconds off the clock.
That's the last thing they needed to do.
Do not write them off just yet, Turtle. 11 to go. They can do it again. Alpha Cap will take it this time, and the ball kicks out to the side. But Astro is there. Skills is waiting for a chance to play hero. But Sosa sends it backwards.
Here we go.
Skills is not going to keep this up, and it's spiked right down. Linked Up have forced game 5.
We saw Skills going for some kind of a flip reset off of, or not reset, excuse me, a pre-flip. He saved it from the ceiling, couldn't get anything. Compadres maybe had a chance there in game 4, but Linked Up, they forced game 5, and that's all thanks to Sosa getting that security goal.
It's amazing that the shot differential, because I've been watching that specifically, knowing how compadres tend to always get outshot. It's been mostly even. I think the biggest spread we've seen is a difference of like 4 shots in a game where compadres were outshot, but still won, because of course they did.
Welcome to the compadres' life. I mean, when we were looking at the standings, it's weird because I feel like Linked Up, they have a chance. Compadres, like you said, have played more games. Linked Up, we haven't seen as much of them as we could have, as we have of compadres right now. But it's really a fight for right now for top 6 for Linked Up, at least, you know, some kind of top 6. Then compadres, they want that top 4. This game is crucial to both teams right now. They push it to game 5, and Skills, maybe he's listening to me. Maybe now he's going to pop off. And as soon as I talked about that, Sosa came in and denied him.
Coach Turtle says, get good again, Skills.
Oh, my.
They need you for game 5.
You can't be doing this to me, man.
What? What?
Well, it's weird because I'm talking about Skills mainly, and he has been doing well, but it's just he's like their only offense right now. He's the guy who's really going to start something.
Yeah, he does have now 3 out of the team's 7 goals. And for ZPS, he's been very quiet for a large part of this series. He had a good start, but since then, not
there it is.
In the scoring department. Oh, is that ZPS scoring a goal? They are watching.
I love when we mention the names, and then they just come up and shut us up. ZPS, right off the kickoff, similar to game 1, compadres start off strong.
All right, so for my next trick, let's see. Haven't seen a goal out of Alpha Cap all series.
All right, here we go.
So we are watching him, and he does not score. So much for that theory. Sosa, though, got the demo and the ball, and ZPS will have to clear this away. But not just downfield to a random spot, Turtle. He went to his teammates.
Yeah.
Now Sosa, his shot's going to be blocked by ZPS. Alpha kept coming on, and he does not get to that ball because Skills is a little bit faster. So now Joe Freshness trying to battle through on the corner. He does get out, and he will find Alpha Cap. Can Joe get to this? No, he had run out of boost. Good infield pass coming from the side. It was Astro that found Skills. Now ZPS thought about coming up. Instead, he has to rush back, and he has to get there in a hurry as Alpha Cap bounces one down. He was looking, I think, for the shot instead. He would have taken an assist, but neither happened.
ZPS also got bumped. Really only seen physical plays out of Linked Up. And even then, not that much. Demos surprisingly not coming into a huge effect here in this series.
Skills plays one around the boards. Alpha Cap's going to have to hurry to get to this. Does win the challenge. Has enough to try and play this but that was a difficult ball to control going the route that he took. And now ZPS has broken through. There's Astro, but Alpha kept with the save. Sosa follows in with another of his own, and Sosa at least gets this out of harm's way for the moment. And now Linked Up can think about tying this game, which they have.
Linked Up, what a counterattack. We got Alpha getting an incredible save on the defensive side, and then he comes forward and gets a beautiful pass. Instead of being selfish or trying to hit it off the backboard, he clangs it to his teammate, finding a beautiful counterattack, and the speed of the redirect was all thanks to that pass.
At one point in this series, there were a bunch of guys that had 3 goals. Sosa now has 6 in this series, determined to perhaps ruin his former teammate Skill's season. This will drop straight down, and Joe is all over it. Now Astro, right at Alpha Cap, and more importantly to Sosa as they try to clear the zone. ZPS, well wide there, and I wonder what his play was, because it didn't look like that was intended to be anything resembling a shot. Here is Sosa. That is very clearly a shot, and he scores it.
I love the passing coming out from Linked Up. This is beautiful. This is the second goal for them today, or excuse me, in this game alone, where we've seen pretty much similar play styles coming into effect, where you just find a teammate up the field, get a fast pass in, and then the redirect comes out. It's literally just a copy of the speed. All of these passes are blazing hot, and it makes it so much easier to shoot.
Compadres this, compadres that. Compadres almost went down 2 goals as Linked Up have taken the fight right to the at least paper favorites in this series. Sosa, tough ball for him, but he does get rid of it. And now Alpha Kep will take over on the defensive effort. Look at the spacing for Compadres. They're all on their way back, but all 3 just a few car lengths away from each other. They need to space out a lot more. They're going to get back into this game and series. Here's Alpha Kep. Needs one more touch. He's got it, but the save by ZPS denies Alpha Kep his first goal of the series.
Man, these counterattacks from Linked Up are deadly. You see them coming up, getting any form of a clear. If you're Compadres right now, you need to put yourself in front of the clear, be aggressive in the midfield, and intercept it before the pass can even come through.
Alpha Kep just gets a piece of this and will stop Skills from creating a counterattack, and Skills had to stay grounded in the net. I don't think he's working with a whole lot, just waiting for a chance to break out. Now he'll finally take it, but he still just doesn't have any boost. That one doesn't spawn for him. And now it is Sosa, hoping that a teammate might be coming around the side. There was not one. And one of the few opportunities the Compadres will have left.
Another counterattack.
Long clear, and Joe misses on the shot. Now Astro looking in the general direction of Skills, but Skills, I think, was trying to run interference. Need to get on the same page offensively. Sosa will clear this away, and again, you see the Linked Up defense. They've almost gone into the shell here, Turtle.
Yeah.
This is going to be blocked out. They're not overextending it all. It's not going to be a cheap goal if they give one up here.
And I feel like I've seen this almost the entire series so far. The pressure from Compadres has been strong, but Linked Up, they either go into a shell or have sheer, utter resilient pressure on them.
Skills now trying to dribble around Sosa with absolutely nothing to work with. That ball almost loose in front, but cleared away just enough. Final 7 seconds. ZPS.
They can do it.
Might have cut off Skills. Astro's shot is blocked. Skills needs to get this in the air. Astro is not going to find ZPS, and a scrum in front finds Linked Up, surviving in Game 5.
It all came down to the counter attacks. Compadres, they were in the middle of the pack, 3-3. We all thought they were going to take this game, and then here come Linked Up with probably some of the best counterattacks in the rival series I've seen from all the games I've been casting. It was so critical for them to find the net, and the passing and shooting was on point towards the end of the series.
And a huge win for Linked Up when you look at the standings,
Yeah.
because now they're 2-3,
Mm-hmm.
and they needed a 2-0 day to give themselves a chance at any kind of successful season.
Yeah.
They still have a tough road ahead, but it's a little easier now because they've got upper 90 later on tonight. So if they can beat the Compadres, you have to think, Turtle, they can beat upper 90, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know because Compadres, they beat Bullsend. Okay, listen, they beat Bullsend, and then they also beat Chaos. And then now they come through in a game that, like you said on paper, they should have beat Linked Up. We all thought they were going to, and then they lose. So now it's a huge toss-up of who's really going to take it. The season is still unfolding right now with the standings, and it's crazy to watch and see all of this these upsets come through. So then you think you can find a pattern, and then the pattern just disappears.
Well, there are 4 teams that are 4-1 atop the standings. Bullsend is one of them, and that's who we're going to see next. Bosco's getting hungry. It's Bullsend at FMG coming your way after this.
Maybe we will, though. Give up the ego. Making it feel good. Just get it, just let it go. Just get it, just let it go.
Caught up in your gravity, always end up lost in your wake. Intoxicated, maybe we can start it again. Caught up in your gravity, always end up lost in your wake. Intoxicated, maybe we can start it again. We can start it again. We can start it.
Hello and welcome back to the North America Rocket League Rivals Series. Now, before the break, Linked Up had compadres choked up with that horrendous Game 5 they put them through, obviously winning that final 1-3-2. An incredible scene there, guys, for this Linked Up roster. I really do feel like some of the lower ranked teams are feeling their tournament life slipping through their hands right now.
Yeah.
They're feeling that pressure to get into the RLCS, and they know that this is their last chance to really put their name on the board / really get onto the top of the board.
Yeah.
I'm really impressed with Linked Up, and I really didn't see it going this way. Did you?
No, not at all. With the results that Compadres had, I thought it was, like I said, it was a coin flip. Are we going to see them fail, to a lower level team? Or because we've seen them beat crazy teams before, and then they come through and Linked Up. Now Linked Up are the team that you're going to be looking at that have a chance at maybe making a huge upset and a great run right now with their standings.
Yeah, there's a level of familiarity between the two teams, so you had to expect that you could throw the standings out the window and that there was going to be at least a chance for Linked Up, especially with the immediacy of their situation, right? They are in absolute must-win mode. They're kind of in save our season mode, and they came out and they took care of business. And it was a battle. Yeah, they had to really slog through that, but they did, and now they can take a little bit of a break before they come back and take on Upper 90 later.
What are some of the strengths we're seeing coming through here from Linked Up? Because I feel like if we had been seeing these strengths all along throughout the weeks, they would have obviously had a different position on the standings board right now. So what are they doing differently this time?
Yeah. To me, it was the versatility because, like you said, a lot of the times in your casting stacks was that they were turtling up, they were shelling up, and then all of a sudden they'd have this crazy, pressure that was going on for like a minute or two that we saw constantly. And I think it's the fact that they can get insane counterattacks and find passes and clears right to their teammates at any given moment, and they can also keep the pressure up when they need to. So now all it really comes down to is just finding the finishing shot. That's it.
Yeah, the Linked Up. What's impressive about them is Alpha Cap doesn't score many goals, and he's not worried about them.
Yeah.
We saw that whole series. I don't think he scored a single goal. I think he had just 5 assists. But he's content to be the table setter for the team. He's content to accept that and go, all right, Joe, Sosa, especially Sosa, you go score. I will do everything I can on the defensive end. I will set you up as often as I can. I'll play at midfield. He's done that. He's fit into his role perfectly. It was enough to beat the Compadres. And it's enough to beat a lot of teams in this league. So, Linked Up, their season is far from over.
And before we move on really quickly, Compadres, as we said before, hit and miss team. That obviously reflects on where they're at in their score line on the standings. But I mean, what were they doing wrong? What wasn't going quite right for them here in this game? Why were they missing so much?
For me, it was weird because I felt like they would never really connect as a team. We'd have individual players pop off at given moments. We had skills have some great moments. And ZPS, he had some great moments as well. It just came down to when they could all click together. There were no moments like I saw so many times with Linked Up. I was like, wow, everybody getting involved, everybody having a job. But for Compadres, it was almost like one player maybe would have a little highlight moment, but nobody would be able to follow up. And they wouldn't connect together as a team and as a unit, just only individually.
It doesn't matter how many shots you get. It matters how many high-quality shots you get. It matters how many you can actually get by the defense. And while Compadres did take a fair amount of shots, they didn't have a lot of power on those shots. They weren't high-quality scoring opportunities. They were, and of course, as you mentioned, I think in one of the games, Turtle, they were right at defenders more often than not.
Yeah.
That's a recipe for disaster no matter who you play. And it came back to bite Compadres in a big way.
It did indeed. It's another upset and Game 5 in the books there, lads. So we have plenty more action to get through, though. And, of course, we have another match coming up for you right now. This is exactly who we're going to be seeing on your screens. We've got Bullsend taking on FMG Full Metal Gaming. Exciting stuff here from a top-tier team like Bullsend, sitting high, very high on the standings board right now as well. Bullsend having Charlotte Phoenix just tucked in underneath them as well. But Full Metal Gaming having that squad with Buddy, Thunder, Turinturo. Incredible stuff I've actually seen from Full Metal Gaming, but they've just had these small collisions here, these small falls that we've seen coming through from them, but occasionally sparks of fantasticness coming across as well. So it's another hit and miss team with Full Metal Gaming.
Yeah, I mean, they're going up against Bullsend as well, who they recently just beat out Charlotte Phoenix, and Stokely, that series, had a huge series for him. It was a 46% shooting percentage for him, 7 and 15 13 right now. Bull Send, they have momentum. Their only loss was surprisingly to Compadres, who we just saw. I don't know how that happens.
I know, right?
I don't understand this at all, Sax. Maybe you can help explain it to me. I'm confused.
No, I don't have any explanation for that Compadres match, but I can tell you why Bull Send are where they are right now with those 4 wins. It's all about Com and Stokely. And, okay, it's not like Dino is nobody here, but Com and Stokely have combined to score 1.76 goals per game. And while it may not sound like a huge number because you're adding 2 players, you have to go to the RLCS to find players like Chicago and Rizzo or Ronicky and I'm blanking Bluey on Barca that are combining to score more goals per game. That's the level of offense that you get when you have Bull Send on the field. Full Metal, they're going to get a lot of shots. They will run up and down the pitch, take shot after shot after shot, but a lot of those shots can turn into counterattacks very quickly with this Bull Send team.
Yeah.
It can indeed. And I tell you what comes up very quickly is the match, and it's pretty much ready to go. So we need to do predictions. Turtle, who are we going with? Because let's be honest, it could be anyone at this point.
Yeah.
There's so many upsets happening.
Okay, I think you're right, but at the same time, Bull Send, they're my pick. I think that they have confidence in themselves. I liked what I saw a lot. Everybody usually is having an outstanding performance. And you mentioned Dino not doing much, but even in the series against Charlotte, he had 7 assists, 80% goal participation. Even though he's the player that you're not going to highlight a lot, I still feel like he shows up. So Bull Send, they're going to take it.
I've tried using numbers and logic to determine my predictions.
Impossible.
I'm just going to read tea leaves here, and I got Bull Send. That's all I got.
So what it said in the
Yeah, that's what it said in there.
I need to get some of that tea.
I saw Bosco's face, so it has to be Bull Send.
Well, there it is.
I need that tea to help with predictions. So after this,
all right.
Perfect. You know what? I have total faith in Bull Send. You can sometimes understand an upset, but you can't deny greatness. And what we've seen so far with Bull Send is greatness. So I'm going to go with them as well. But gentlemen, I won't keep you any longer. Please, let's find out who is taking this match.
Bull Send coming in at 4-1. There are 4 teams, Turtle, that are up here. We saw Charlotte Phoenix beating Upper 90 to join that group just a little while ago on the B stream. And this is not quite Judgment Week for a lot of these teams, but there will be some very relevant B stream matches coming up. It's all about taking care of business, though, for Bull Send.
Yeah.
You can't look past any opponents.
I mean, you just got to keep it calm, stay relaxed, and in a series that you're supposed to win, we talked about it last year, we said it. It's on paper. This is your series to win. The best way to do it is to stay calm. Don't panic on defense and just try and find each other. Once you get a little possession going, that's when your confidence starts building. Slowly build that over the series, and then towards the end, hopefully that's when you can start popping off and going for these incredible, solo plays. And we'll see what Bull Send, the former WGN champions, are going to do.
Turanturo and Buddy on the FMG side, they alone combined for 7.5 shots a game, which is unreal.
Yeah.
You got to go through. That's more than what I think 7 different RLCS teams, 3 other rival series teams, and as a team, they get that number up to about 10 shots a game. If you like offense, you're gonna like this FMG squad, but it's Dino who scores here because as good as they are at shooting the ball, FMG do not stop many shots.
And off the backboard as well. I talked about it last series. You get a blistering shot in. It makes it so much easier. I feel like every single striker, if you ask them, would you rather have a slow pass where you can kind of time your shot or just as fast as possible, a huge speeding bullet? They would easily choose the speeding bullet, just because it's so much easier to get a redirect with power.
Buddy will win this over Stokely, but it is cleared away to the corner by Dino. Here goes Calm. He's around another defender. Can he get the bump? No, it is cleared away. Buddy will give chase to Arturo behind him. Stokely, pass over to Calm, and they are dribbling circles around FMG, at least for the moment. Now Stokely. Try to bank one out for himself, but he can't recover in time. So a rare touch for FMG. At least gets the ball out of the danger area for a moment. But they need a long, sustained possession to calm down or cool off this Bull Send team.
And Bull Send, they're just faster to the ball right now. The pacing, the decision-making, everything is just a level above. And here's a great example. Calm, his rotations, he's beating out the defender every single time in this corner. And what a touch as well from Stokely, almost getting that backwards redirect in.
Popped up at midfield for Turinturo to play, but he needs another touch, and he's got it, but does not get by Stokely. Now Calm watches that ball go over his head. Stokely is already recovered. He's boosted up, but he runs into Calm in the air. This is a chance for FMG, and Dino snuffs it out. Calm may turn it into a goal the other way, but Turinturo gets back in time. It was almost a brilliant play and then almost disaster on both ends of the field.
And you got to give it to Dino as well. He put himself in between the pass, predicting it perfectly. He was the last man back. You got to force yourself into that open space and hope you can get a prediction. He manages to do just that. And he's also going to put one in thanks to Calm. And that is going to put them up 2-0 in the series. FMG, they're just trying to match the pace but can't do it.
Calm pouring in his 19th goal of the season. That ties him for the team lead with, as we mentioned earlier, Stokely. That one unassisted, coming up near the halfway mark. And it is, in fact, 2-0. Now Stokely. As that go blocked away, and Turinturo is going to get to this in time, but Dino and Stokely are all over this. Buddy playing this back. Stokely having a lot of trouble, and Buddy scores over the top of the last defender.
And a wide open net. Buddy, just a booming clear. The demo comes in as well, and nobody's back.
2-1 at halftime. FMG still plenty of life and a lot of time to work with against the top of the league, Bull Send. Thunder has that ball played all the way back from whence it came. And it will be Stokely looking for Calm. They nearly connected. Dino trying to get one by Turinturo. And now it is Buddy. Hit up to the ceiling, did not land with his tires. So no flashy Garrett G style plays, but still enough offense to go around in the FMG zone. But not for long. Turinturo and Thunder double committed, but they won't get punished.
Even after the double commit, I'm surprised. I was looking at who was going to walk away with it, and Dino, he could have gotten a great clear there. He comes up short. Everything on the line for it. Dino's hit right there. Can't connect, and FMG, even after a double commit, can punish.
150 remains in a game that has been turned upside down. Stokely doesn't have a second touch. FMG ready to take over. They needed a stop on that ball from Stokely, though. Calm and Stokely both going up for this ball. That leaves Dino in a very difficult spot at midfield. They're going to get away with it for now, but I wouldn't rely on that going forward. What a pass, though, out to Stokely, and it's kept out. Buddy read that coming down from the crossbar and kept it out of the goal.
Stokely almost able to get the crossbar down shot. Buddy, I mean, at what point was it a save, or did he just have himself in the right position to get a touch? Either way, they're going to take it.
Dino in a tough spot trying to avoid a demo. The Bull Send defense does recover as Calm makes the save that keeps this game tied. FMG came for a fight, and they have taken it right at Bull Send, but nobody's going to be there. Turinturo turned away from that ball at the last second, and Dino gets his second.
And you're right, the hesitation from Turo. He realized he was a bit out of position. He maybe could have gotten a piece of the ball if he challenged, and that's going to get caught. Bull Send, they find the space, but Turinturo, I mean, you need to make a challenge there. You're hesitating too much in the offensive quadrant. If you're going to be aggressive, there is no room to make a mistake like that.
Suffocating pressure from FMG for the last minute and a half or so. One mistake is all it takes for Bull Send to reclaim the lead, and Calm makes that save. And Stokely will not get rid of this. He had to take his time with no boost.
Yeah.
Turinturo's all over that play, but can FMG get one back into the net? Thunder missing off the corner. One of very few opportunities left. Bouncer goes high. Follow from Thunder. Interference from Buddy, but it doesn't result in a goal. Final seconds tick away. Buddy throws one up there. Thunder's got to get to this. He does not. So Buddy will have to try and dribble
up.
through the field. He does get the ball in the air, but that is killed at the last moment. And Bull Send, it was a roller coaster ride, but they take game one.
I mean, I predicted them to win the series. I didn't expect it to be this close. And for FMG, I mean, the pressure really was stacking up for them towards the end there. I thought maybe they were going to run away with it. It just came down to that final play where Turo was a little bit too aggressive and got caught off guard.
A team that, again, as we mentioned, averages over 10 shots a game.
Yeah.
The only other team in the Rivals series that does that is ARG. We saw them earlier today. They got 9 shots in that game, and a lot of them were pretty good-looking shots for FMG. What does Bullsen need to do to limit those high-quality opportunities?
I mean, Bullsen, it feels like just missed mechanics from the backboard. I felt like Dino, there were a few times in that series where he missed a big clear, big opportunity, even on the double commit that we did see from, I believe it was FMG. They double committed, and then Bullsen, they had the opportunity. It was Dino in position to get the clear. He missed it off the backboard. Those are hits you need to get, and even towards the end there, barely missing a lot of the defensive hits. It just comes down to raw mechanics right now for Bullsen, and they got to connect.
It's very rare that you blow an opportunity like that where you should be able to get downfield and get a goal. Instead, you give one up.
It's the worst feeling.
Immediately behind you, but still come out on top in that game because they got kind of a lucky touch that got by Turinturo that proved to be the game winner. So now, Bullsen gets to reset, but so too does Full Metal Gaming. And we go to game 2. In a game that it is certainly not must-win for FMG mathematically, but I think mentally, after the highs and lows of that first game, they need to take this game.
And game 1, nobody really was coming out of the woodwork just swinging. It was just both teams feeling each other out. I thought it was going to be Bullsen, but they started to slow down, FMG picking up the pace, and now we've got a really good series on our hands.
The goal differential of 17 coming in. That's now, of course, improved to 18. For Bull Send. It's among the best in the league, and a ball that was perilously close to the Bull Send goal has been turned away. Stokely, there will not be any boost out of that corner. Dino does make the save, and back downfield we go. Stokely is going to play this. Thunder let it go. Did have to make the save, and fortunately for Full Metal Gaming, he was able to. Turinturo looking maybe for Buddy, but Buddy peeled off looking for boost. And so Bullsen should be able to take over again. Dino a little indecisiveness though. He thought about going for that back boost.
Calm.
Instead turned on it, and now Calm's shot is blocked away by Turinturo.
And I like the possession game from Bullsen. It feels like they're going back and forth pretty well. Just focusing on, staying calm, keeping possession, and focusing on how you can progress slowly as the series goes on, not throwing everything you have right away.
Thunder banking one out, but Dino is not a teammate. That's a real problem for FMG. They've seen a couple of shots whistled just wide or high of the mark. And Stokely rushing all the way back through the air. Blows up the attack for a moment. Nobody home, but Stokely is the first of this ball. Now everybody misses. It's still an open net, and Buddy finally scores it.
And that was like 3 back-to-back open net opportunities for FMG. I thought after the first missed chance, FMG wouldn't get another one, but here comes Bullsen. Everybody kind of throwing themselves at the ball. The positioning really in question for Bullsen, but FMG, thankfully, they were there for the second or third opportunity.
Well, it wasn't pretty. That one looking a little bit better. Turinturo adds to the FMG lead.
Right off the kickoff, he takes it slow. He could have gone for the aerial, but he realizes he has all this space in front of him. Why not just take it to the ground, take it slow, and go for the flick? He does exactly that, and Turo, the finisher of FMG right now, coming in clutch,
Calm known for his 1v1 prowess as well, and that's got to feel good for Turo to get that ball right by him on a 1v1 play. There is Calm getting through Thunder. Dino trying to find a teammate, instead finding Turinturo, who is very proactive coming off the back wall, and another shot's going to be blocked away by Dino.
And I'm still waiting. Bullsen, I mean, they have little bursts of excellence where I see a lot of potential, really great individual plays, and then it just comes down a lot of the time to finding possession and keeping the defense. But then Calm, he's listening to me. He says, just shut up. and watch me.
And we will watch as Stokely gets a nice pass off to him. And Calm just makes sure that that ball finds its way into the net. 2-1 the advantage now for FMG. We're into the second half of game 2. This series with plenty of ups and downs and backs and forths to last a whole day.
Oh, the demo.
That demo does not lead to a goal, but it could lead to one a little bit later. Like now, perhaps. No, what a save as that is cleared away. That ball right on the goal line, and now Dino's got to play defense. He can't. And FMG cannot take advantage of a quick counterattack opportunity. Now Buddy, challenged by Dino. Turinturo for Thunder. Yes, sir. 3-1.
And the series started out with Bull Send outpacing everything FMG was throwing, but then the response, it almost took them a couple of games to warm up, but Thunder, so fast to the ball, the corner play was there for FMG, and they get up in the series by 2 goals.
150 remains, and right when you thought, okay, Bull Send are back in business, the lead has widened back to 2. Stokely runs right through Turinturo and takes possession. Dino's shot is right at Turo, who would respawn. And Calm makes sure he doesn't get to that midfield boost.
Demo's really taking a huge hit to both teams. Everybody getting physical. It's almost like nobody really wants to go for a demo, then all of a sudden one of them hits one, and it's just feeding sharks at this point.
Look at all these teams learning from the Pittsburgh Knights playbook.
Yeah.
Now Dino. That will go all the way across, and Thunder should have this, but he took his time, so Stokely comes on to play. And now Calm was maybe looking for Dino, but Dino, I don't think he told him he was coming up.
Yeah. I mean, I like that hit. I like the backwards hit. Definitely confidence, trying to keep possession. Just came down to communication there. But I'd rather much have that than just a huge blatant clear or somebody throwing themselves at it.
Well, Calm will throw this all the way across for Dino. He'll put kind of a token shot on that Thunder will save away for the 3rd time in this game. Stokely coming on is beaten out by Thunder, and here comes FMG again. Maybe looking for just one more to feel real secure about this, as Calm has that ball to the corner. Stokely, I think maybe played wide by design, but nobody was circling around to take the shot. Now the final 13 seconds. Stokely. It'll be Dino trying to center for Calm. There he is! And that's saved by Buddy. And that should put the finishing touches on a brilliant series-tying win for FMG.
Yeah. And what a way to bounce back. A little bit confused as how they would mentally face this game. Maybe they let Bull Send run away with it because they had game 1 in the books. That was all their game to take. And then all of a sudden, Bull Send barely sneak out a win. FMG, a great response here.
We normally talk about FMG's shots per game, but this time they make 8 saves on a relentless barrage of shots from Bull Send. And for Bull Send now, they look at the opportunities that they gave FMG. They weren't great opportunities. They weren't numerous, but a few key defensive miscues really came back to hurt them.
And one of their goals, I'll say it again, it was opportunities after opportunities. I feel like even when Bull Send did get, a mistake, they committed a mistake on defense, and then it's almost like they had more security to keep making mistakes, but nobody would come in and just get a clear. It came down to a lot of defense mishaps from Bull Send. How are they going to clean up? How are they going to keep rotating in? And I don't know what it is. It feels like it's a misuse of communication. We saw Calm hit something backwards. Nobody there trying to keep possession. Where was his teammate coming in? They couldn't communicate. And then now it's a matter of how can you rotate out and get a counterattack. The possession might be there here every once in a while, but overall, Bull Send not looking strong.
They are not looking strong, but they are not behind in this series because of that one goal from, I believe it was Dino, who scored ultimately the game winner in game 1. So we're all tied up. We go to game 3, and very quickly a chance for FMG. Now Dino with Bull Send's first opportunity. They will not score in the first seconds. Thunder does get this to the backboard. Turo's up, and it is FMG that strike first.
FMG looking strong. What a challenge from Thunder against Stokely there. And then he beats out the defender in the air. And Turo, he's got an easy finish there. All came down to Thunder doing so much work to create space and make that opportunity possible.
I couldn't tell where it was. There was definitely a demo, and I wonder if it was Turo taking out a defender on his way back.
It was Dino on his way back, I thought.
It is going to be Calm who plays this over towards Stokely, and Bull Send going to be scratching their heads right now, wondering how they are going to solve this little conundrum. They now trail FMG. Again, when you look at the records, Bull Send should not be losing this match, and they can't afford to if they want to stay at the top. But Thunder scores another, and the hill becomes even taller to climb.
Here comes Thunder, game 3. A great shot, and he is really proving himself right now in this series, breaking away. And the startup for FMG has been so strong so far throughout the series.
This first minute has been brought to you by Full Metal Gaming, and it has been brought to Bull Send whether they wanted it or not. Stokely needs to navigate through some traffic to even try to get a ball in front. He cannot. Buddy with an aerial clear at Thunder, and he was trying to read what he thought was going to be a power clear from Dino. Calm now looking for Stokely. Buddy intercepts, but he didn't control that ball, and it could have been dangerous if not for the efforts of Thunder, who is now waiting in front of the goal, but Stokely makes sure that ball never reaches him.
And FMG, the aggression in the midfield is unmatched right now. From Bull Send, they can't counter any of these challenges coming through. FMG are running away with the possession, and they keep winning every single challenge that's thrown at them.
Calm will drop this to Stokely, who does not have a lot to work with and can't keep the play alive, so Dino has to be firm at the back end. And now, Calm makes another stop, or maybe it's actually blocked away by a teammate coming across. Calm will just play one in, and that will count as a shot, but it is not a scoring opportunity for Bull Send. That was with some interference in the net, but the save is still made, and now Turo will get this out, and his teammates can boost up, but only for a moment, because here comes Stokely. Here comes Dino, and Calm's going to be waiting, but he had to circle around, and he's going to be slow getting to the offensive end.
Bull Send finally breaking out of their half. Even with demos coming in, where is somebody coming for a finish? We want to see somebody at least follow through. The third man, where was he? After physical plays, Bull Send still can't punish or put one in.
Buddy for Thunder, back now to Turo after Buddy was taken out of the play. And while it looked good for a moment, Bull Send shut the door and keep it only a 2-goal deficit. But a 2-goal deficit right now, Turtle, seems monumental and almost insurmountable for Bull Send. They have not had many good looks at the orange net at all. Stokely has to knock Calm out of the way so he can finally get one, and Thunder just makes the stop.
And where was the communication? Calm just got knocked out of the way. The dribble was trying to come through, the impatience and no positional awareness.
Stokely, quick reaction to get that ball to the corner, but it is coming right back to the Bull Send half of the field. Turo on this. Calm misses, so Dino will have to take over. It does work out for Bull Send because Calm is downfield. Now Stokely will try to score off a rebound, but he can't power through and keep the shot on target.
And I've been impressed this entire time with FMG's defense. The third man, whoever is last back, always so pivotal with how they get these saves. Even right there, we see the follow through from Buddy. You can't break the rotation even when physical play does come through for Bull Send. Bull
Send has tried to make FMG uncomfortable on both halves of the field, and they have been unsuccessful for the most part. Oh, how about Thunder?
The pop-off game for him, game 3, has Thunder's name written all over it, and the follow-up dunk off the wall to get the recovery. Thunder is on fire right now.
I'll give Calm a lot of credit to read where that shot was going. He had to pick a spot. He guessed right, but he could not expect the ball to go right back at Thunder, who dunks it in. And that should just about bring us to the end of Game 3. Unless Bullsen have a miraculous comeback in them, and it doesn't look like it as they do not score on this trip down the field. That is a loose ball for Stokely, but as luck would have it for him, Buddy is right there, and he plays it right back where the ball has spent a lot of time in this game, the Bullsen half of the field, and where Calm has spent a lot of time in his own net making saves like that.
Yeah. I mean, 10 seconds left. You got to just recollect your thoughts. Your Bullsen, great attempts at getting demos, trying to disrupt the defensive line for FMG, but it's just not happening. Dino, he's going to start the momentum, hopefully, for the next game for Bullsen and pull one in here.
Like a struggling free throw shooter, just needs to see the ball go into the net one time, and maybe, just maybe, that will spark something going forward in the series.
And that's great. James and I talked about it in our series before in EU. I mean, when you see a player stop playing, or at least trying, towards the end of a game, that's the worst sign mentally, because his teammates are going to see that. They're going to say, oh, he's either giving up in this series, or he's just, even if he's recollecting his thought, it just doesn't look good. You want to just finish out the series as strong as possible. That way you can start any kind of momentum into the next game.
Winning is oftentimes a mindset or a certain mentality. And Bullsen, at least you know that they are competitors, that they are going to play right through to the end. But they need to get that going a lot sooner, otherwise they're going to drop this series to FMG. And what I found, I think, the most impressive about Full Metal Gaming, and it's been their MO throughout most of the season, everybody is involved in just about every play. You're seeing just about even scoring. You're seeing a lot of assists across the board. It hasn't been just Turinturo getting involved in almost 3/4 of the plays. It's a well-rounded effort. Bullsen doesn't know who to stop, and they just can't stop all three of them.
And I agree, but if you're going to have to pick somebody, I would go with Thunder. That performance, you're right, everybody on defense especially, Full Metal Gaming, they were strong, they were consistent. But then Thunder, his shots were on point that game. I thought he was putting himself in the best position, approaching the ball at the best angle, and still the dunk play off the wall, that recovery was great. And right now the momentum is all in Full Metal Gaming's hand. They have the match point, and they can take it.
Numbers can tell you who to key in on at the start of the series, and the numbers would have told you Turinturo. Watching them play, I agree with Turtle. Thunder's the guy you got to stop, because he has been running rampant, and he has scored some very flashy goals and come very, very close on a couple of other occasions.
And the dunks as well. Full Metal Gaming, man. Every time they go and approach some kind of a challenge, it's usually a dunk just like that, and it makes it so hard for any counterattack to come through from, Bullsen. I almost said Compadres.
Well, it was Calm who had a tough time with that ball. It came off the ceiling at an angle I don't think he was expecting.
Yeah.
And now Calm and Dino both come rushing out of their own net. It was Calm who got the clear. Dino probably should not have gone, or if so, should have been in position to follow up the play. But Bullsen, despite that little double commit, are on the offensive end. Buddy will put this off to the side, but Stokely keeps it in for the moment. But there is Thunder, who has had his handprints all over everything so far for FMG.
And I mean, if you're Bullsen, your only loss this season has been to Compadres. So right now, it's almost like these teams that seem a bit towards the lower level, lower tier, are their kryptonite. Full Metal Gaming, so strong. And at what point do you consider them lower level teams, or is it just who is on point at the given day?
Calm will throw this all the way through. He needs one more touch to get the ball in front. And Turinturo just catches this. My goodness, it's like he had spikes on his car. That ball went nowhere. Now Buddy, out of control after trying to play past Calm. That gets by Thunder. Calm will take this. Stokely was coming up as well. And Calm trying to play a little bit of hero ball, it seems, and it might have cost Bullsen an opportunity. They're still there, though, and finally, Calm is beaten by Thunder.
And Calm was trying there to be a little bit more patient, force maybe a better 50. Oh, my goodness, and what a touch. Speaking of the man himself, trying to force a 50-50, some kind of a better challenge. Doesn't get it, and he could have maybe gotten a flick. And like you said, trying to play hero does not pay off. Still 0-0 here, almost half the game gone.
Stokely's shot is going to be just wide, and again caught by an FMG defender on the back wall. They are not letting any rebounds get out to where someone like Calm or Stokely can just run onto it and give Bull Send an early lead. This is sent at Calm. He makes the save. Speaking of rebounds, another opportunity. No, little hesitation there from Turo and FMG. They're still on the attack, but I think their grasp on this possession is fading. Now Calm will find Buddy, and that means the ball's going right back to the Bull Send half of the field. It has spent a lot of time there as Calm makes this save, but he hasn't cleared this out of the way, and again, more second and third and fourth chance opportunities.
And we saw it with Linked Up in the last series. Even when a team is constantly on the defensive end, all it comes down to is a fast break for that defensive team just to get out of their half and get a great shot in. But Bull Send, even when they do get it clear, they're not finding each other.
Turinturo, with what little was left of his boost, got this ball in front. Thunder now has that in midfield. Buddy trying to interfere with the play. Stokely's shot, Calm's dunk attempt, neither finds the back of the net. And now Stokely will go to the ceiling. Now you see Bull Send, they're digging deep into the bag of tricks. They are scraping the bottom of the barrel looking for anything because, look, a conventional pass and a shot is not going to beat FMG.
And the goal line saves, Thunder right there, we saw it. They are so good in net, each and every one of them. And it's not just an individual savior right now who's keeping FMG involved. It's everybody on the pitch. Whether they're in net or not, they're winning challenges and they're beating out the pace of Bull Send.
Buddy got that outside, but Stokely was waiting. Calm, bullied by Turinturo as he couldn't make the stop at midfield. That's Stokely trying to maybe win this game and keep Bull Send alive, but the ball just dies at the goal line and is cleared away. Now back the other way. Nobody's at the net. Turinturo gives FMG the lead.
I talked about counterattacks, and this is not what I expected. I was looking for Bull Send to break out of their half, and then here comes FMG after monstrous pressure from Bull Send for the past 30 seconds. So close, a goal line save comes through, and then FMG a response, a great dribble, and then an open net to shoot at.
All right, top dogs, what do you got now? 20 seconds. And little more than a prayer. Loose ball there. A little bump from Stokely, and Calm had to wait and wait. And now with only 10 seconds left, the ball's going the wrong way for Bull Send. Now they can try to right the ship with only 5 seconds left. That's the big clear they needed. Stokely's shot is wide, and that ball has not touched yet. Stokely pops one up for Dino. Don't know how much he has. His shot is blocked. And Stokely's got to get on his horse to try and dribble this to the corner, and he does not get it to the wall. FMG have made a statement. And they start week 3.
They're so good on the defensive line. Did you see even the last second save? Buddy pre-jumped the save for the 0-second buzzer beater. I don't understand what kind of mentality and positioning FMG have, because that was one of the most stellar defensive performances I've seen right now from the rival series. FMG, welcome back. I mean, I'm surprised right now. That was insane. The defense from them was on point, and then to get the counterattacks, they had pressure almost the entire game. Wow, that was crazy.
They took a team, FMG took a team in Bull Send that was averaging 2.3 goals per game and stifled them.
Yeah.
They locked down Bull Send. They locked down Calm and Stokely, which I didn't think was going to happen. I don't think anybody was going to be able to do that. But they had in that series 2 goals between them, both by Calm. All Stokely could do was try to get assist after assist. And it was not pretty for Bull Send, but what it was pretty for FMG.
And Bull Send, they threw everything they had at FMG. It wasn't just repetition over repetition. It was demos coming through, trying to go for individual dribbles. And then even the pass plays that were happening, they just could not find each other, first of all. The passes were pretty poor quality. And then on top of that, the defense from FMG, I'm still shocked. That was what a performance from them. The pre-jumps to getting every single save you can even imagine right now for FMG.
Well, because we've missed so many predictions, they're going to kick us off the desk. But when we come back, we will have James and Subi. They will try to do just a little bit better with two teams that are absolutely desperate for wins. Upper 90 takes on Linked Up. Coming your way after this.
I can feel it rushing through my veins. Your love's the only drug I know. But we've been playing and now we're dead, so we can light it up. I know that we can make it through the night, but I can feel it for you inside. So there won't be no fear tonight.
Hello and welcome back to the Rocket League Rivals series. Now, before the break, we had a shocking upset where our incredible team Bolson, right at the top of our leaderboard right now, was actually just beaten by FMG in a 3-1 fashion. Quite incredible stuff. We have the curse of the upsets this week. And joining me to talk about it, I have Subi Smash and James Bot. Guys, I really couldn't have predicted it to go in this manner whatsoever against Bolson. FMG just seemed formidable on that field, and Bolson couldn't do anything about it. What was going on?
Well, Bolson is known for their kind of chaotic, sporadic style of gameplay with people all over the field, and they just couldn't seem to work it out to get shots on target when it mattered most.
And even Buddy's pre-jump near the end, you could tell the confidence was just brimming. And in the back, I was like, oh, Bolson's going to win this game. It's going to go to game 5. They'll win. You know, this is how it plays out. This is how it works. And I was wrong.
All of us
I was wrong.
Everyone was wrong. I mean, I think chat was wrong. I think, well, you're always wrong, but everyone on the desk was wrong.
I've been wrong today. If you're at home and you're wondering who to pick, wait till I pick. Just go with the opposite.
I mean, it could be said for anything. At this point, I honestly have no idea where the even logical pick to go is. It just doesn't seem. You just can't do it. It's not possible this week. Everything is going against everybody. But I just feel like these bottom tier teams right now on the standings are really giving a lot of pressure to our top teams, who I think maybe are they relaxing a little bit too much because of where they're sitting right now? And obviously our bottom of our standings are like, okay, we really need to play up to our potential here to really secure a position in the top of the leaderboard right now. Because as you can see on our screens, we've got some of the guys like Upper 90 eSports is 5-1. I mean, who knows what they're going to do next? I mean, that's really interesting in itself. But Bullsend dropped down to 4th position. They were right at the top there. I mean, what is going on, Subi, honestly?
I think it's a mixture of both things you were talking about. The top teams getting a little too comfortable up there when they're looking down at one of those lower teams in maybe the 7th or 8th spot. But those teams on that lower end of the standings are starting to realize they don't have many games left to play, and every single game is important. Not only every series, but every game. They can't take it to game 5s because we've seen so many times in the rival series where a team is taken out of top 2 contention just because of a few games that they lost.
Now it's better than ever, though, because top 6 keeps you in the league. Top 4, you get to the playoffs. So it is a little more forgiving. But I just think it's a testament to the good decision of adding additional slots to the rival series. These bottom teams are still competing. Even Zookeepers, they're down there at the bottom, but all the series they lost have gone to 5. The only team that I feel might be a little bit outclassed is this Upper 90 squad that is coming up next. But if they get a win here, they could flip that on my head as well. I mean, I've been wrong today every single time.
It is true. I mean, counterattacks, is that the key to this FMG roster right now? Is that the reason why Bullsend really couldn't send out their finest performance?
Well, Bolson really capitalizes on when they're overly aggressive. They're one of those teams that's going to come out, punch you in the mouth. They're going to rotate through the zone, look for demos, look for bumps, and it puts them out of position if they don't achieve that. And it just looked like Full Metal Gaming was seeing that on the field and really just catered their game style to Bolson and just capitalized on all the mistakes that Bolson was
and
pulling out.
sometimes you just get a hot hand where you're playing out of your mind. You know, kind of like Sosa from Linked Up in the series earlier. You know, I might have somebody go to his house and make sure that was him playing, right? He was playing that good.
Oh,
so,
no. Oh, no.
It's happened before. No, I'm just kidding. But no, it's sometimes players can just be hot and you're playing well. And at this level, even to make it into the rival series, you have to have a certain level of skill. And if you play to your potential, it's true, any team can beat any other team. It's even the same in RLCS. You see teams down there at the bottom of the charts, like Cloud9 and Vitality down near the bottom, when they're clearly not a team that belongs there. The reality is that all of these players, because of the rival series and because of the RLCS opportunities, we're seeing the cream start to rise to the top, and all these players are very good.
Well, we're seeing a significant mix-up with our matches right now. And speaking of matches, we have another one for you coming up very shortly. Let's find out who we've got here. Linked Up versus Upper 90 eSports. honestly, anything could happen right now. We've seen Linked Up have a fantastic day already so far. And as you already said, James Bott, Sosa performing so nicely alongside his duo there as well. And Upper 90 eSports, we haven't seen them yet today. But again, honestly, who knows what could happen here? Upper 90, can they score some Upper 90s today? We've seen plenty so far on the play.
That's a great question, but the reality is these were the bottom two offenses coming into this week. Obviously, Linked Up had a great series, and Sosa was able to end that. But coming into today, these were the bottom two teams. Joe, however, in 80% of the goals coming into today, and we still saw him performing well. So this Linked Up squad, to me, I think they look a little bit better. Upper 90 has struggled quite a bit to really get anything going.
Yeah, Sosa came in and doubled the amount of total goals he had on the season in just one series. He had 7. He got 7 in that series early today. Unheard of. So if you're Upper 90, that's got to be one of your main focal points, is taking Sosa out of the equation, whether it's just bumping him to get in his head or demoing him to take him off the field. They have to focus on that, but more importantly, they have to focus on offense, because their shooting percentage and total goals for the entire team has been abysmal for this entire season. That's what they need to focus on, is offense this series.
I mean, it kind of reminds me of the RCD Espanol and Echo Zulu series, where it was, again, same situation where you have two teams that are at the bottom teams when it comes to offensive ability, and that series actually turned out to be a firecracker. So we might be in for another treat here.
We could indeed. I mean, Linked Up, surely they're ready for that. I mean, Sosa's obviously playing so well this week, and you can't deny that at all. So surely they're ready for Upper 90 to totally wipe him out of the game, or try to at least. How do you counter that in pro level? How would you do that perfectly?
And are you saying like for dodging demos and things like that?
Yeah.
So if you know someone's coming for you, a lot of times you just have to always be aware. You always have to have your head on a swivel. Make sure you're getting those audio cues. But a lot of times you'll see players sneak into a little bit of net more, because especially demos you see happening when somebody's coming in and they're trying to go for the corner boost and they're rotating out. So if somebody's coming to get you and you're close to them on the near post side, if you back up, they just can't make that turn very fast, and so they won't commit. So there's places where you can essentially hide. But other than that, sometimes you get caught out. You just have to jump over it. And, I mean, we even saw the play. I forget who it was earlier. I think it was Nachito or someone who was in a 3v1 situation. They had to make the save.
That was it.
Or I think it might have been Mr. Ubi. I think it was Mr. Ubi earlier, where he knew all 3 players were coming for him. You just got to calculate. Look all who's coming, time the jump, and try to get the stop. So it's a physical game. You just got to be prepared.
Scary stuff.
TLDR is hide. When you know they're coming for you,
Or
just
dodge.
hide. Yeah, hide and dodge.
Duck, dive, dodge, hide.
Whatever
everything.
you can do. It's scary stuff being good, huh? Scary stuff. You're on your own on that field sometimes, I feel. Well, gentlemen, it's about time we get into predictions. So, I mean, my prediction is definitely changed considering me seeing this Linked Up. So, I want to know, Subi, where are you standing right now?
Yeah, prior to watching Linked Up play earlier, it was really a flip of the coin to pick who's going to win this matchup. But because of the performance we saw from Sosa and his teammates in support, I have to go with Linked Up in this matchup. They look very strong. They look like a brand new team.
Yeah, I'm with you. Linked Up 100%. Those guys, they impressed me. I think they have a chance to impress again.
I actually originally was going to go for Upper 90 just based on what I'd seen so far. And in week 1, they actually defeated FMG. So it's difficult. I've seen Linked Up play now, and they're pretty incredible. So I'm going to have to go with them. I'm going to go Linked Up as well.
Oh, wow. All the desks. So that means we're wrong.
Well,
that's usually how it works for
we'll
me.
See.
For me, at least.
We'll have to wait and see, Gemma. Speaking of that, I want to see. So please, let's get into the game.
Thank you, Lonnie. And Subi, I literally have not been right today.
I'm well aware.
It is weighing on me. It seriously is. So Linked Up, we saw Sosa. The one play that really stood out to me was just his effortless double tap. There was a play where it was just a nice little bounce and just picture perfect, had the twirl, the perfect control, hitting that in. And Sosa, he just was scoring goal after goal like that.
Sorry, don't mind me. I'm trying to Google how to double tap a ball. I don't know how to do it.
You can't really do it with a mouse and keyboard. It's impossible.
Well, how about a trackpad and keyboard?
I'd say yeah.
More doable for sure.
But no, I mean, you've had a chance to, or you were paying very close attention to this series in the back. Sosa was a key part of it, but what else do you think Linked Up had going for him?
Well, the big thing was Joe Freshness getting involved. He had 3 goals, 2 assists, and you got to scratch your head about Alpha Kept because the goals weren't coming from him. He had none at all in that series. And I think if Linked Up get him involved a little bit more, they're going to be one of those teams that could see themselves in the top 5 for sure. Alpha Cap has to get involved. He's a new member to this team. He was previously playing with Astro and ZPS. So it's always a little different plugging into a new team. You got to figure out your role. But we're 5 games in, baby.
No, the season's running out. Time is running out. So, and especially for Upper 90, they're sitting at 1-5. A loss here, that has to be the death blow for them. If they lose here, their season is going to be over. Trying to finish top 6, really no hope at that point.
No, yeah, 5 losses is going to be unheard of making it anywhere near the top of the rival series. Right now, they're okay. 4 losses, still not great. Definitely not great, but you cannot lose any more, and most importantly, you can't drop games. If they're going to want to take this season seriously and finish in top 6, they have to sweep out. There's no other way around it.
And we're going to get these players in-game as soon as we can, just getting some server situations figured out, and then we'll get everybody in, ready to go, ready to play. And we all picked Linked Up 100%. Chat, I'm sure, is voicing their opinions as well. And we had a chance to see Linked Up play earlier, and they looked very good. But it has been a day of upsets. We weren't expecting Bull Send to lose, and lo and behold, they did. And even in Europe, we were seeing teams that we didn't expect to take the win, getting the win.
Yeah, and one thing that I do want to bring up is Upper 90 has DemoCat on their squad, and he was in the rival series last season with Upper 90. Once again, they finished 7th, so he knows what it's like to be on that bottom half of the roster. He cannot depend on Infinite and Melodic Misery if he's playing. You know, we've seen subs come in for this squad that may attribute to the losses they have, but he can't expect them to pull a ton of weight. He has to step up and say, hey, I'm the veteran here. I am going to use my experience to our advantage and carry us to victory. I know what it takes to win games in the rival series. It's not an easy task, but someone has to do it, and it has to be him.
Yeah, and with how top-heavy that it has been, you know, there's no time left. It's now or never for Upper 90 as we get game 1 going on kickoff. Melodic is going to push that deep into the linked up corner. A hard hit. Infinite going to drop this down in front of net. And we see Demo passing it off the backboard. Melodic will stop the ball at half. Infinite, just a touch too slow there. Gets a touch off the backboard, but Joe Freshness will get the long clear. Right back to Demo, who sends it up to Infinite, who's interrupted by Joe. Now chance for Alpha Cap. Hits it off the backboard. Demo with a slight touch. Sosa passes across, and the strong shot from Alpha Cap, and they score.
And they go back to what was working earlier in the day, and it's those hard midfield passes, but instead, it's Sosa finding Alpha Cap this time for a 1-goal lead early in game number 1.
And the signs there for Linked Up, continuing that stellar offense that we saw from them in their previous series. Joe taking that one off the ceiling. Sosa, he was scoring nutty goals. That time had the perfect infield pass. Off the backboard, Demo is going to pass it backwards. Melodic was a little too far up. He'll just pop it up in the air. And Joe Freshness will get the clear.
Good positioning there from Infinite. I was kind of questioning why he was so far back, but worked well in his favor. Right now, Linked Up trying to go with those long booming clears. We see it come out once again, and Joe Freshness does find Sosa, but Infinite is there. Clear that ball to Melodic, and over the ball goes to Upper 90.
Melodic again getting that clear pass back. Infinite now going for the backboard. Alpha Cap gets there in time. Double commit, but Sosa low on boost won't be able to push the ball downfield very fast. And he's still low on boost. We saw the boost steal come in. Alpha Cap going for that. He'll be out of the play. Demo across the field. Alpha Cap interrupts the play. He'll chase this down. He'll just leave it out, let Infinite get the follow-up hit. Sosa, nice little bumper tap to keep control. Alpha Cap downfield. Joe Freshness just got a lot of boost, but the drop down pass from Demo, and Alpha trying to center it, but Infinite hopped in front of it.
And James, I really think right now, Linked Up is having a little bit of difficulty with the change of pace that they're seeing from playing FMG going down to upper 90. It's a little slower, and you notice that their spacing is kind of all over the place. They're having trouble figuring stuff out. Right now, upper 90 needs to capitalize on that because they're giving a ton of room to upper 90, and they could really use that in the offensive zone.
Intentional hits as well. From upper 90, they're attempting those passes and utilizing that space. I think you're right, this change of pace, something that Linked Up is going to have to get used to compared to the last series. And that stop from Alpha Cap will send it up high. And Joe Freshness going up there for that shot. Sosa with some time, gets full boost, pops it over Demo. Can't get it by Infinite, but Joe is there going for the backboard hit. He'll bail out, get to the ground fast.
And it's almost like Linked Up is surprised right now with how much time they have. They're like, wait, for real? I'm not being challenged? Okay, I don't really know what to do right now. But a good touch there from Melodic, but nobody forward there. Infinite with a good 50-50. Time starting to tick down. The fake works well in his favor, but Alpha Cap comes in to clear the ball into the corner and steal that ball away.
And upper 90, they've struggled on both the offensive and defensive side of the ball. Last in the league in terms of goals allowed. They've had a leaky funnel, but it is short up, only keeping Linked Up to 1 goal, but still the offense nowhere to be found for upper 90 as we approach that final minute. And finally, some offense coming through. Melodic taking advantage of that caster curse.
Yeah, he takes advantage of the space given to him as well. Good catch here, gets Joe up on the wall, and when he sees him falling down, puts the shot on target, and just at about 1 minute of gameplay, upper 90 tied this up.
There it is, the official 1 minute mark, upper 90. Tying it up. See if they can eke out a win here. Demo getting challenged. That ball launching back. A little fortunate Alpha Cap didn't get to that ball in time.
Had Demo not touched that, I really think they would have scored there. He was not expecting that to just zing right past him.
And Joe booms it back. Melodic has to handle it off the wall. The stop from Joe will send it out. Alpha Cap airborne. And a good stop from Infinite. And now on the other end, Melodic launches it downfield. Joe hitting to the sidewall. Demo center balls to Infinite. Infinite getting challenged by Alpha Cap. Another long clear. Demo stopping it in the middle. Sosa.
That's the goalie.
It's going to bounce. Infinite's just going to let it touch the ground, and we've got overtime in game 1.
Just confident that they're going to be able to take it in overtime. Is upper 90. Had an opportunity to pop that ball back up, but instead say, hey, let's take it to where, dangerous pass. Good cut from Demo to take that one away, and in comes Melodic all the way down the field. Tries to pre-flip. Can't quite reach the ball, though.
And now Joe dribbling it downfield. Getting another touch. Melodic up. Joe also stealing that corner boost. The boost star play is on. Alpha Cap can't get there in time. Another corner boost going the way of Linked Up. And that Demo on Sosa will relieve some pressure. The good pop from Democat as well. Democat eating up a lot of time, allowing his teammates to get into position.
I love seeing those defensive demos to open up the field, allow your team to clear the ball, and more importantly, just gather their senses. And you see that perfectly, a shot on target, but Alpha Cap booms it downfield. Sosa's up, but Infinite reads that mid-air, and that's multiple times that we've seen upper 90 meet the ball in mid-air and turn it away.
Another opportunity. That one floating up in front of net. This time, the rebound hitting off the crossbar. And a block from Infinite, and another block from Demo. Now Infinite going for the bump on Alpha, but Alpha plays it well. Still low boost for upper 90. They're fending off an attack. That clear from Infinite will buy some time, but a boomer sends it right back in.
Nice little wave dash to get under that ball and pop it up, but nobody there for the challenge. And Alpha kept looking for the pass right now. Linked Up has the ball in the zone. Sosa puts it on target and finds the far post to take game 1 in overtime.
Sosa is surgical. That first touch, the second touch sets up his shot. He snipes the far post. Sosa is still on fire.
Still on fire, and Alpha Kep wakes up in a series where his team absolutely needs him, gets an MVP medal, but more importantly, a goal, an assist, a save, and 2 shots on the board for him, just being all over the field.
And that's exactly what you want to see if you're Linked Up, is picking up right where you left off. That game coming down to the wire. And Melodic, he got that play in the final minute to tie it up, but in overtime, it was Sosa.
Yeah, and if you're on upper 90, you can't keep relying on Melodic. Right now, he has 27% shooting accuracy. That's incredible when it comes to the rival series.
Especially for the lowest performing offense in the league.
Exactly. But you look at his teammates, they're both under 20. They've got to step up a little bit more and hit the shots when they're available to them. Right now, Linked Up, they have that midfield wide open, and if they utilize those infield passes, they're going to start picking apart upper 90. They're all sitting back on that defensive line. No one's pushing forward. I guarantee you, if you see an infield pass, it's going to resort to a goal.
And we did see a few chances that were exactly what you were talking about, where the ball's floating up in front of net, and we didn't see upper 90 get to the ball. However, they were blocking shooting lanes. We did see quite a few times where they weren't necessarily getting the hit on the ball or hit on the challenge, but they were blocking out the lanes. And they were attempting passes. They just couldn't connect. We'll see if upper 90 bounces back. Game 1 was a close one, decided in overtime. That one bounces to the middle of net. Joe can't flick it by. Melodic had a duck opportunity, and you see Alpha dodging the demo attempt from Melodic.
But he did get that boost stolen from him, and Demo took the other boost. So right now, Alpha kept on 0. Got to rely on Sosa and Joe as they both have over 50 in the tank.
Infinite going for a corner boost. Good touch from Demo, keeping control. The flick pass to the middle, and that shot, a thing of beauty. This passing play was something.
This was definitely something. A boost steal, takes the ball, flicks it over 2 defenders to the top of the box. Take notes, Linked Up, because that is an infield pass.
I mean, you could tell Demo just knew that was a goal. As soon as he passed that out, he stopped moving. He's like, my work here's done.
Sometimes you just got to set that controller down and wipe the sweat off your hands.
And that's exactly what he did. Upper 90, we saw them attempting those passing plays earlier in game 1. Finally making the most of it. Heads up play from Demo. Joe will push this downfield. Demo going for the clear. Infinite helps him out. On the back wall, Infinite going for the challenge. It's bouncing down in front of net. The shot saved by Joe Freshness. But upper 90 still threatening on this attack.
Uh-oh, that's a misplay from Melodic. Alpha kept trying to bait the defender out, but a good challenge from Demo as he gets the boost once again, takes the defender out, looking for Sosa, takes out the third. All Infinite has to do is find the net, and he's just off his mark, and we remain at a 1-0 scoreline in favor of upper 90.
You have to put those on target or hit Demo. Demo was open for the pass. He could have shot that as well. But upper 90, furious right now. They have just been swarming. This one's going to go up off the ceiling. Joe opts to take the first touch on the ground, now airborne. Does air dribble it to the corner. Infinite passes up to Demo. Alpha Kep cuts him off.
One-on-one.
And Melodic, he got a dribble goal last game. It was the only goal upper 90 scored, so watch out for him in the 1v1 situations.
Definitely a player you don't want to be staring down, but that ball definitely got away from him, and you could see that that first touch hit the top of his hood and just took the angle in the wrong way. But here comes Sosa looking for a backboard pass, and just a little too soft That one's sent away, but a dangerous play from Demo in the box, and Sosa can't capitalize.
And linked up. Wasn't able to get back to it. Infinite stopping the ball at midfield. Sosa hitting it down. Demo using up all his boost for that touch. Now getting full boost in the corner. Flicking it past the defender over to Melodic. Melodic shot towards net, but it's saved. However, Melodic gets the Demo, but a block from Sosa will keep possession. Going for the dunk. It's going to roll up the wall.
But there's 2 up on that wall, but good play from Infinite to stay all 4 wheels on that wall so it doesn't lose control. And right now, upper 90 just setting their sights on linked up, and what a save coming out, courtesy of Demo with a little help from Melodic to pinch it out.
Moment to make you stop and take a breath. Upper 90, big save. But you can just tell linked up, they are kicking it into high gear as we approach the final minute. Infield pass, and Sosa blasts it wide.
That pass was a little too hot to handle, just a little too far in front of him, and Melodic gets the bump on Alpha Kep. They have numbers, they're rolling down the field. Demo can't get it around Joe. Good defensive stance coming out from him.
The block sends it back towards net. Alpha Kep with the challenge. Demo up, clears it down the center of the field. Sosa with the stop. Demo shot, it's going to be wide. The follow-up blocked as well. Alpha Kep dribbling it, flicking it to Sosa. Sosa the shot and a save from Demo. Infield pass and broken up by Infinite. Alpha Kep off the corner. Demo with the touch. Joe over to Alpha. Alpha off the backboard. Infinite with the clear. Sosa stretching for it. He can't get to it in time. A save from Joe. Demo with the Demo. And now on the other end, Alpha Kep, the slow play. It's going to bounce. Backboard denied by Infinite. Sosa keeping it in. A Demo again from upper 90. They have just been ruthlessly physical.
They are living up to the name of having Demo on their team. A wide open net, but it doesn't matter unless I eat my words here as the ball hits the ground. Upper 90 tied the series up, and did they find the kryptonite to linked up? Could it be those Demos to just take them off the field?
It was savage, especially Demo, the death dealer. Upper 90 getting that 1-goal lead, only scoring a single time, but they certainly were in control a lot of that game. There were chances, like you said, with linked up, that hot pass to Sosa when Sosa barely put it wide. But that was savage.
Oh, I mean,
that was savage. That is the type of Rocket League that we have been seeing lately, is just those games where players are getting so aggressive, going for Demo after Demo after Demo.
Well, not only is it so critical to take your opponents off the field and take defenders out of the net, but it also provides a little bit of salt in the wound. It just makes your opponent start to just get tilted, get on the edge of their seat and say, seriously, stop. Like, this is getting annoying. And you get in their back of their heads, and that's tremendous for your team, especially when you're upper 90. You're at the bottom of one of the teams at the bottom of the list. It is so dangerous when a team like this can catch some momentum and start rolling downhill. That's when you have to look out for them. That's when linked up needs to really perk up and say, we have awoken a dragon and we need to slow them up right now.
And every team can win. That is something we've proven and will continue to prove, is that any team who gets to this point has the ability to get a win in the series. The entire desk picked linked up. We expected domination from linked up, considering how well they played last series, but upper 90 had something else in mind. Long clear, we'll send it to the corner. Alpha Kep trying to slow play it, but Demo gets in his way. Melodic, the pop up. Infinite had to go and get boost, wasn't able to follow up on the shot. Now cutting up on the play, Sosa double commits. Now Sosa again waiting in the corner. A long clear to the linked up corner. Joe trying to keep possession. Melodic gets in his way, bouncing in front of net. Alpha Kep clears to the wall where Joe's waiting. Joe aiming towards backboard. And Demo with that nice touch will break up the backboard play. Melodic slowing the ball. Alpha kept the center. Demo with the touch. It goes out to Sosa, and Sosa can't put it in, but a rebound out to Joe Freshness, and he finally punches it in.
And way to not give up from Sosa. Stays in the box, even though that touch was kind of going over his head. Just keeps the ball in there for Joe Freshness to clean up the slop.
But props to Demo for not giving up on the play. Excellent effort from him on the defensive end. Was able to keep it out for as long as he did, but the rebound just came out. Drop down from Melodic. This one's going towards backboard. Alpha kept passes back, but it went too wide, and now Sosa getting bumped out of the play.
Too much time. Too much time given. You cannot allow your opponent to get that comfortable with the ball that close to your net.
But I loved what Joe did was, try to slow down the play so that he can steal that boost. Ooh. And get the ball. And now the touch into their own net. Let's just watch the replay on this.
Sounds good because it was chaos in the box. Joe just fires it on target. Melodic off him, and Infinite says, well, if it's a team play, I want to be involved, and puts that one in for Linked Up's favor. Upper 90. Starting to get a little scrambled on defense.
Melodic also, after he touched that ball, he just gave up. You could see it in his dominance. Just stop moving. One of those plays where he's expecting to have to make a save, wasn't expecting it to hit off the wall like that, and ended up touching that into a dangerous spot. Now another shot. Joe Freshness hammers this underneath the crossbar.
Did he get a pinch off this ball? Because this was 61 miles per hour. No, just with the help of the ground, fires that on target. And Joe Freshness with a hat trick. We haven't even had 2 minutes of gameplay yet.
And even then, it was 61 with the defenders getting a piece of the ball. That was just a perfectly placed shot. Not much you can do to stop those. You have to pre-jump. And even then, sometimes it's not enough. Sosa, and he just threads this needle. The defense caught completely flat-footed.
The tiniest angle given to him, and he is going to capitalize right over Infinite's head. This one spiraling out of control. Time for Upper 90 to wake up. Still have a half to work with, and I am a firm believer. Whatever happens in the first half to you, you can easily do to your opponent in the second.
And there the demo comes out. The demo play was so critical in their last game, Subi. To bring it back, you feel like that has to be a part of the equation.
Yeah, it looks like the Upper 90 that we saw from match 1, and I don't know why they're going back to that. Maybe trying to shake up Linked Up, but it is not working well in their favor, and you are absolutely right, James. They need to go back to the game plan of Game 2 of just taking every single Linked Up player that they can off the field.
Even if they do that, it's still going to be a struggle because Upper 90, while they might be able to shut down the Linked Up offense with the demos, the game they won, they still only managed to score a single goal. The offense, still something that Upper 90's trying to figure out.
Oof.
I went off the crossbar and down. Infinite takes possession. Getting some assistance. Alpha Kep sees Sosa and Joe waiting in the middle. He wasn't able to pass it down, and now in the Linked Up half, Infinite forcing the issue. Melodic, first touch. Alpha Kep just jumps right on top of him. It's on the goal line, and Infinite able to get it out. So Upper 90, they catch a break.
Catch a break, but it's not going to matter. Just about a minute left. They need 4 goals. Every quarter is not going to happen. Upper 90 falling short in this one. Seems that their best friend is defense, and it wasn't present here in game number 3.
And finally, we see Upper 90 get on the board. Physical play, shot after shot. And Infinite, he's just going to put this one in. A minute left, down by 3. It would have to be a miracle for them to get one back. We'll see if they can get one off kickoff. A good kickoff will send it back to DemoCat. It's bouncing off the wall to Melodic. The dribble shut down. And more precious time melts off the clock for Upper 90.
Yeah, and they had every angle that Melodic had available absolutely covered on that play. And he also had Sosa breathing down his neck, looking for the demo. And right now, it's just kind of time for Upper 90 to get maybe one feel-good goal. And there it is. Melodic puts another one on the board. And Demo gets the assist.
Still not out of the realm of possibility. 32 seconds left. We've seen 2-goal swings happen very late in games. We'll see if Upper 90 can do it here.
This would be one of the greatest comebacks in Rocket League history. If
I've
this happens, James.
never seen a 3-goal comeback.
How about a 4-goal comeback?
I mean, in a final minute, I don't think I have ever seen really a 4-goal comeback to that degree. So we'll see if Upper 90 can get one in. Time still melting away. And that shot burning up more time. Infinite leading the final charge. And with that, Linked Up close out the game. Upper 90 had a late surge, but it wasn't enough, and Linked Up take game 3.
But one thing that they can do is take this momentum into game 4. You're not out of it just yet. You played well, especially in that last minute and a half. Loved what I saw from Upper 90. Just stop with the slow starts because you're giving Linked Up so much space to work with, and they're a team that you give them the space, they're going to punish you.
They certainly will. They have that triple threat. Alpha Kep has it in him as well. Sosa and Joe also threats. We saw a hat trick out of Joe Freshness and some well-placed shots from him. Sosa also getting that overtime winner right out of the gate. This linked-up offense is clicking. We're seeing the components. We understand that they have what it takes to really run up the score, but we're not seeing that from Upper 90.
No, and that's what it's going to take for them to be one of those top rival series team. You have to be able to really fire on all cylinders every single match that you play. You can't be asleep during some of them, and that's what we're seeing. You see moments of greatness where it's like, oh,
that demo play where he was dribbling it, and he just dribbles it around the defense and flicks it into the middle. That was a thing of beauty.
That was brilliant pass. I mean, I love seeing players that do smart plays. Right there, a lot of players would have gone for the tight angle shot, which 99 times out of 100, you're not making it. So the passing play, brilliant, but that's what it's going to take for 5 minutes every single game. You can't take time off.
The final game potentially for Upper 90 if they can't figure out those offensive woes. Linked Up ran up the score last game in their 4-2 victory in Game 3. Now we're underway with Game 4. Demo out of boost. Getting bailed out by Melodic. Alpha Kep first touch control. Goes for the challenge on Infinite. It's popping up. Double commit. But a big win from Melodic. Slowing down that play. It could have been much worse.
They're very lucky that ball squeezed out. Another double commit coming out from Upper 90. Starting to panic, realizing that they are put on match point, but it's no time just yet. The pass, the follow, and Infinite turned away by Alpha Kep, and another save coming out from Joe Freshness, the defense of Linked Up standing tall.
That was another golden opportunity for Upper 90. And it hurts to watch that. Such a good setup, and they walk away empty-handed.
One thing that's good to see is that was the first minute, and we didn't see that until the last minute in Game 3. So they've woken up, and Melodic turned away by Sosa. The saves are incredible, James.
Linked Up, the chain gang, they are just made of the rock they're supposed to hit. I tell you, a brick wall and net. That was something else. Sosa, what a save to keep this equal. Joe chasing downfield. Melodic pops it by and dodges the demo. Alpha Kep will break the play up. Goes for another challenge. Gets the win. Now another chance to beat Demo. And Demo shuts it down. Rebound followed up by Sosa. And Linked Up get on the board.
Instead of hitting the ball forward, Alpha Kep slows it up, pops the ball, and takes Demo out of the net. And Sosa follows it up to put one on the board for Linked Up.
So he got the bump. Alpha got the bump, but the contact, equal and opposite reaction, stopped the ball. Alpha getting bumped back into it, slowing it down, but the rebound still coming through. And now a shot opportunity for Sosa, and he's denied by Infinite with a quality save. Upper 90. Such good chances early.
Poor touch.
And you can see Infinite taking advantage of that poor touch, hitting it down into the corner. But linked up, recover just fine. Demo keeping it in the corner. Corner pass now. Joe Freshness is up. Met by Melodic. Good speed. Melodic not having enough boost to go for the shot. He'll have to retreat. Demo down off the ceiling. Alpha kept taking over. Going for a ground pinch. Infinite was ready. Infinite going low. Sosa with a hit over to the side. Demo follows it up. A bump from Infinite rather. On that player rotating out now, Infinite's going to have to deny backboard. He gets it over to Demo, who also was waiting with full boost.
Uh-oh. Little bump play coming out from upper 90. The comms have got to be better, especially when you just go into the second half on match point. All three members got to be on the same page.
And that was a frustrating experience for Demo. He's getting ready to dribble. His teammate cuts him off, and then he gets demoed. Feels bad.
Well, after all the demos that he had in game 2, it's payback.
Upper 90 still looking for that goal. Sosa getting pool shot into that hit downfield. Demo will hit it out to Freshness. Center ball, Sosa, the bounce shot shut down by Infinite. And Alpha kept with the challenge. That one's off the ceiling and down. Sosa to the sideline, gets a piece of it. This one's up in the air. Demo airborne. Joe with a good play to deflect that ball. Now a pass over to Joe. Joe back to Alpha, but it was just out of reach. And Melodic's going to get a long clear.
Yeah, good cut off by Melodic, sniffing that one out. And Demo puts that into the corner. He had Infinite available to him to put a shot on target, but instead went to that corner. But they retained possession in the offensive half. A poor touch from Alpha kept. Not going to be punished, and that ball goes all the way back into upper 90 zone. We near 30 seconds of gameplay. Still a few opportunities left for upper 90.
Shooting opportunity. This one bouncing off, and Sosa first to it. No one from upper 90 was there to take advantage of the initial miss. Now Sosa, shot towards net is blocked. Joe to the backboard. Infinite pops it up. Try to get in the way. Sosa with the challenge back to Joe Freshness.
Oh.
Popped up in the air. Where's Alpha Cap? He's there. The bounce shot, and it's going to be in. Linked up with the 2-goal lead. Just 14 seconds left. They have this one in the bag.
And they put the lock on the coffin. Upper 90's not going to be getting up from this one. Really making a statement in game number 4. And how about Sosa being there for his team and getting just so many important, crucial goals.
And saves as well. Thinking back to the upper 90 pressure early on. Immense saves coming out from Sosa and Linked Up. As now it's just a formality. Linked Up getting the 3-1 win over upper 90.
They looked very strong, and they carried the momentum from earlier on against FMG into this matchup against upper 90. Upper 90 had moments of brilliant plays, great striking, creative passing plays, but it wasn't enough against Linked Up. Linked Up was just so strong and just looked like a top 5 team the entire time we've seen them today.
And upper 90 was not playing poorly at the start of that game. We saw just incredible saves, and then also the follow-up shot getting blocked. So you're saving the replay. You're going to watch that series because just defensively, those were some fun moments. But even offensively, Linked Up, stepping up to the plate, getting the goals when they needed them, getting the stops when they needed to. Linked Up, their top 6 dreams are alive. At this point, even top 4, they're going to be gunning for that spot.
Yeah, it's so important to win your matches, and they did exactly that, only dropping 1. But on upper 90, I think there's a lot of work to be done. It just seemed like the spacing and the timing just weren't quite there. I don't know if it was communication issues or just hesitancy out on the field, but there's some stuff to work on. This team still has potential to really make a statement in rival series.
But that's going to be it for this series. Congratulations to Linked Up for getting the win. We're going to go to a quick break, but when we come back, a top 4 clash. RBG going up against Afterthought. This is going to be a fun one. Don't miss it.
Took me down, had me feeling alone. So long, darling. Right here and now, we can try this again. If you're in, I'm in, darling. I finally see what I need to be free. Far from what I was led to, but no holding back, I've made up my mind. Seeing what's next, I'm not sure what I'll find. Holding the key firmly in my hands. I'm looking forward, I know where I stand. And this is it, I've nothing to lose. Now is the right time, I'm making my move. I wanna hide now. You
Hello and welcome back to the Rocket League Rivals Series. Now, before we left you for a short break, we had Linked Up finally give us what we deserve, the win in predictions. I mean, that's
I mean, I
the most
needed
important
it.
thing.
I needed it. That's the most important.
I needed to pick me up too, guys. I really did, because I felt like I was failing myself and the team here with all my wrong predictions. But, that's not what's important here. But Linked Up really did show up for this match, and I was super excited to see them really get back in the groove of things there, because I was a little bit worried against Upper 90 at one point there in that series. I did think, uh-oh, here we go again. This is happening to us again. I can't believe it. We've cursed it. But they managed to pull it out of the bag in a fantastic fashion. But you got to give it to Upper 90. We did see moments of brilliance there. What did you notice from them that maybe they can continue and carry on forward?
Well, when they did their best Pittsburgh Knights cosplay,
Yeah, that was good.
hey, they played very well.
But still, even with that, they weren't finding the goals.
Right.
The most goals that we saw them score were the 2 goals in the 4-2 loss. So their defense continues to struggle. Their offense hasn't found anything. We saw moments of brilliance, like the dribble play by Demo, and we saw some good build-up, but they just haven't figured it out, and it's getting to be too late. So we'll see how Upper 90 can get some confidence. Maybe players are going to try to put themselves on a pedestal and show that, hey, roster move, I can get on a good team. Like I can be on a team that competes for the top 6. But right now, sitting at what, 1-6?
They're 1-5 now.
They're 1-5, so it's
1-5,
going to
yeah.
be a long journey back to potentially even top 6.
Yeah, a lot of work to be had, and it's got to come first from accuracy. We were talking about it. You can't rely on melodic to hit all of your shots, and just spacing, timing, just simple things, but they make a big difference when they're all compiled together.
I think Upper 90 actually 1-6. 1-6. So
I thought I was right. But
You're right.
Okay.
I don't know how to write
I-
numbers.
It's all right. Numbers
hey, look,
are hard.
It's my job to keep you guys in check, so it's fine.
Thank you,
I'm
Lon.
doing something right.
Circled it. I circled it.
No. I think actually Linked Up really showed a lot of resilience there. We saw moments where, I think they had Upper 90 by surprise. We saw a lot of rebound goals happening and a lot of shots coming off the backboard there, but Upper 90 weren't ready for what the comeback was going to be from Linked Up. I mean, they would just kept shooting until they would get it in. And I think Upper 90 weren't quite ready for that level of just try-hardness. And I was really impressed with Linked Up and how they performed. But I want to ask you guys a question. I heard you guys discuss about top rival series teams and what makes one. And I want to know, have we seen a top rival series team yet who can really keep their consistent gameplay happening against whoever they play? I mean, something that we've seen so far is our top teams falling to some of our bottom teams. So have we seen that spark of that rival series team yet?
Well, it's always hard to be consistent, but the teams that are at the top, the Charlotte Phoenix, RBG, Afterthought, those teams are the teams to beat. And we're seeing these teams match up in this next series that we'll be covering. But all of these teams who are already at 4 wins, I think they've proven that they are at the top of rival series, and it's up to other people to knock them down. But again, with the Bullsen series, every team, they can get wins here. And even in Europe, we saw it as well. Echo Zulu getting the win against Monaco. We see it in the rival series, Birds beating Cloud9. It's a new era. It's a new era. In the past, where North America was so predictable, it's not anymore.
Yeah, and I think one thing that you can definitely say is you can't overlook any team in the rival series. I mean, on paper, they're all pretty close in skill, but it's that consistency that you were talking about that really separates the top from the bottom, and then that's what separates teams from getting into the RLCS.
There's great experience. All of these top teams have players who have played in the RLCS.
Well, would you guys say sometimes on occasion it's not how you win the game, but how you beat your opposition? Is that something that we're seeing as well in rival series? I feel like some of these lower bracket teams right now know how to beat these bigger dogs, up the standings. And I feel like that is the consistent key for these lower standing teams to really start climbing back up the ladder, knowing how to beat your opposition.
You just have to play with no respect. If we saw Pittsburgh Knights do that exact thing. You can't let the fact that the players on the top teams have RLC experience, you can't let that phase you. You just have to play it like it's a matchmaking game. If there was a feature to anonymize the names, then they should turn that on and just play it like they're playing anyone in matchmaking.
Well, and also there might be a little bit of resentment, anger, like you're in the top spot. I feel like I should be there. I'm going to take it out all on you. Then that top team says, It's just a little guy. It's all right. We don't need to worry too much. And then they get down a game and it's like, whoa, 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 whoa. They start scrambling and playing out of their play style. And that's really what happens when you see those top teams fall to those bottom teams.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen teams play up and play down to competition. But so far, the teams at the top, especially Afterthought and RBG, they've looked pretty good, and I'm excited to see this matchup.
They have indeed, and the tables have turned. So I'm really excited to see where we're at in week 4 and see exactly how the standings have gone. But we have another game ready for you guys. Our final one of the day, I'm afraid. We've got Afterthought versus RBG eSports. Now, RBG were mentioned by James Barr earlier on about being one of our top teams here in the Rivals Series. I really want to pinpoint here Seabass. For me, last week really made a huge impact on me and my thoughts going out of this as well. Really high IQ player for me. Seabass seems to be everywhere, doing everything, and he's there when you need him the most as a teammate. How do the other guys fit around him?
They play their roles perfectly. Right now, I think the big question mark for me is going to be put on Rapid. It seems like there's times where he's out of that equation to where maybe he should be going for a shot. Maybe he should be going for one of his trademark rapid resets. We haven't seen it the entire season. So for me, I want to see Rapid step up. Seabass has been consistent. He's going to be getting his, and he's going to be getting his goals. He has 20 already.
Yeah, he's the scoring leader right now in goals per game. Seabass up there, and he was always a player that impressed me even during his stint in the RLCS. He had a couple different seasons where he was playing. He was always a player that looked good, even though his team struggled to get any results in the RLCS. And down here, he has been thriving, and even his teammates have been assisting, both of them averaging over 0.7 goals a game, which is up there near the top. So this RBG offense is a threat. But on the other side as well, Afterthought has a lot of big names that we've seen in the past before. Sathu, obviously, he was able to fight into the RLCS with Space Station when they did that. And Dapper on CLG and on Selfless, he's a player who already has RLCS experience as well. So this is going to be an excellent clash of very talented players.
Battle of the veterans. And one interesting stat about Seabass is he's a true RLCS bubble player. His first season in RLCS with Allegiance, they finished 7th. And then he comes down to the Rival Series, finishes 2nd, goes back into the RLCS, finishes 8th. So it's like he keeps going back and forth.
He's right on that cusp.
He's right on the cusp.
But I mean, and his old teammate Illusion is now thriving on Ghost. That very easily could have been Seabass.
100%.
So, and it just goes to show you those roster moves that can make such a big difference in players' career. But this season, 2 auto bid spots into the RLCS. These players, it's their dream to get back in. A lot of them have already tasted that, and they're hungry to get that extra serving.
It's all about who you team with. It's that chemistry that is what gels you together as a team. And I feel like we're seeing some incredible chemistry as we go through the Rival Series. But of course, it is prediction time, gentlemen. Will RBG be taking this game, or will they be an afterthought after their opposition have had their way with them? That is the question. So, Subi, starting with you.
This has got to be one of the hardest matches to predict the entire series. This is, in my opinion, going to be one of the best series of the season. And watch it just be a 3-0 sweep. But, I mean, both teams stacked. It's going to be tough. But from what I've seen, based on performances of past, I've got to go with RBG because Afterthought fell 0-3 against Charlotte Phoenix. At least RBG gave them a fight.
It's very true. But and I love Rapid. Rapid, if you're watching, I'm a fan. Michigan brothers, we got to stick together. But I'm going Afterthought here because I am maybe one of the biggest Dapper fans out there ever since when he came out in Gold Rush and played in that 1v1 tournament and was playing at that event and just watching his streams. I love everything that he's about. So I'm picking with my heart here.
Ooh.
And also, Shock and Sathu. Sathu is another player where if you sit down and talk to him, he's just a great guy. So I'm rooting for Afterthought, so I'm picking Afterthought.
Fair enough.
That's where I'm going.
I like it. There's a lot of love on this desk tonight, guys. I'm liking this. Okay, we're going with the heart. Well, then my heart is definitely saying RBG. I just think the way that they've played last week, I can't count that out at all. And Seabass for me is a real one to watch out for in this series. So please keep your eye on him. Gents, we're pretty much ready to go here. Last series of the day, so please enjoy.
Thank you, Lottie. And one of us is going to be wrong.
You know what?
And I was right last time.
So was I, though.
Yeah, but so was I.
More importantly, I was, and I think I'm beating you the entire
But,
season.
I mean, what about RBG that puts you over the top? Because Seabass has been incredible, but I look at Afterthought, and I see all the components. And Shock, you think back to the WSOE run, where they blasted through the qualifiers, and they get into that event. Sathu also fighting into the RLCS. Dapper was a mainstay in the RLCS for a while. I think a lot of this Afterthought team is stacked.
For me, it came down, both teams lost to Charlotte Phoenix. That's the one loss both of them have. And looking at film, it looked like RBG played way better when they're facing another team of that caliber. I could be proven wrong, but Rapid putting the goal on the board early for RBG.
And, give me that crystal ball, Subi. As we see Sathu struggling in the corner to get a piece of the ball, and then the shot from Rapid just sniping it far post. And I'm sure he'll be letting me know.
Well, that's good shot placement right there. Nice and hard, going all the way across the net. Very hard for a defender to make a save on that ball.
Quickly, RBG getting on the board. This offense has been a powerhouse. The RBG squad lead in shot differential. They are plus 55. They just pepper the net. Now the follow-up shot blocked. Pressure coming out from Afterthought. Dapper forcing that jump, threatening the demo. Shock in the air. Going for the dunk. It's down to Dapper. Dapper blocked by Seabass on the goal line.
The speed coming out of net, the difference there between a goal and a save. Seabass meeting the ball at the point of contact right when Dapper does. The net almost open, but the defense closes just at the right time. And once again, a shot across the net finds its mark.
And there was a little kerfuffle on the goal line. You see Seabass slightly bumping Dapper. That slowed him down just enough so that Aeon's shot could get by.
All you need to do is block the camera for a split second to take the ball away, and it just changes your perspective, forces you to really slow down. But, Rapid coming off the ceiling, and thankful Dapper was off his target there.
We've seen multiple chances from Afterthought already, but quality goal line defense from RBG. And the shooting continues to impress. Shock they're trying to get it by Rapid, doesn't get it successfully. Now Rapid, the air dribble attempt, he's going to leave that boost in the corner as well. So RBG going to try to keep Afterthought bottled up, but they got boost. Dapper to the center. Sathu with the challenge. Dapper going for the dribble. And the ball gets sent back. Aeon up in the air to the corner. Sathu clears it out. So going to bounce down to Seabass, who has time. The challenge goes out to Rapid, and Rapid clear that down. Aeon up. And now Shock with the dribble, gets it by Rapid. Goes for the 50-50, but Seabass, that challenge will shoot it up the wall. And now a long clear from Rapid.
And one thing that I'm really going to pay attention to in this match is the lateral gameplay from RBG. We've seen already both goals. The pass comes from one side of the field, and the shot comes from the other. It's just working the defense left to right, forcing them to spread out, and it opens up that net.
Rapid defending that net, and now getting the long clear. Dapper with the dribble. Tries to pop it by Seabass, but Seabass with the stop. Rapid gets bumped out of the play. Seabass, not the greatest hit. Ball bounces to the middle to Dapper. Dapper, the shot denied by Seabass, but it takes two to commit.
Oh, good touch there from Shock to keep offense in the corner of Afterthought, but that one getting away, gonna allow RBG to boost up and gather their thoughts.
Seabass bumping Sathu out of the play as well. Seabass. Now Aeon with the challenge in the Afterthought corner. Gets it by, the infield pass, popped up in the air. Rapid gets beat by Dapper, but still touches that ball. Shock Off the backboard, chance for Dapper. The shot blocked by Rapid, who had a lot of time to set up. Back out to the middle, Dapper.
Oh, we got 2 to go.
The net vulnerable. Shock messing up Aeon's follow-up hit. Now Rapid up to Aeon. Dapper hits it off to the side. Seabass first to it. A demo by Shock as well. A double tap! That was filthy from Seabass.
Seabass getting his 21st of the season and does it in beautiful fashion. A double tap off the wall and rolls it right under the crossbar. No way, no how are you saving that ball.
RBG. They have been lights out. They're shooting something else. And even their demos, effective. Center, Rapid out of boost. And he can't get there in time, and Shock puts the first one in for Afterthought.
And keep your eye downfield on Dapper. He turns his sights onto Seabass, gets just the slightest bump to put him out of position, and they bring it within 2. They've got a long way to go and not a lot of time to work with.
RBG has outclassed him certainly on the offensive end. Sathu up in the air. Dapper was also airborne. Dapper can't get it. And now the time just ticks away. RBG, 3 goals, 3 quality shots, almost adding a 4th. As we see the ball touch the ground, RBG getting a convincing win in game 1.
Seabass is starting to show that no matter where he is on the field, whether he's on the ceiling in his own end, expect a shot. He can hit angles from anywhere.
And it was everyone from RBG stepping up. A goal apiece, a team hat trick, and every single shot was a thing of beauty.
And turning away the shots from Afterthought when they were actually on target. The shot there from Shock, with the one that found its mark, really just due to a breakdown in the defense from RBG. They capitalized on that fast break. You can't rely on those too much. And Afterthought trying to bottle up those corners in offense too much, and RBG's clearing the ball away so easily with almost no effort. And
their stops are something else too on defense, getting the saves. But that double tap from Seabass, that is just, you see your life flash before your eyes if you're Afterthought with how good he's shooting. You don't think he can hit a shot like that.
Exactly.
That one rolled off the elbow.
Well, and then that last
place
shot,
that better.
The last shot too. Like, you don't expect that to be on target with that much power. And Dapper is a veteran player. He's seen those so many times. So yeah, he's expecting it. But common viewers like me and you, it's like, where is that coming from?
Don't call me common, okay? You're assuming I'm common, and I don't appreciate that. But you know what's uncommon is how well RBG has been shooting. We'll see if that's something that can be sustained, because what we saw was just fantastic in game 1.
Well, Seabass has proven that he is a marksman this season. You give him the smallest window, and he is going to find it. Shock gets by the entire defense, and Dapper just puts it on target.
The air dribble clear. Bye-bye. Shock flying by everyone. A first-class air delivery to Dapper.
And check his boost tank. He may have modified it to have 150 because he just carried that all the way downfield.
I didn't think they had boost pads in the air. Where is he getting it?
Oh no, a mistake coming out from Seabass. Dapper's gonna punish you every single time.
This went off the corner, and you see Seabass has been so clinical on the offensive side, a rare defensive miss. And you can't make mistakes like that. It results in an easy goal, and it did that time for Afterthought.
And this is going to be a hard one to come back from when you're facing such a formidable opponent like Afterthought. You're not going to see too many opportunities, but I expect RBG to make a fight in game number 2.
Coming into this week, Afterthought was the top defense as well, having the fewest goals per game allowed. So this early lead that was given up is going to be a tough thing for RBG to come back from, but they scored 3 last game. And it's still very early.
Oh, and a Double commit on both sides. Gonna leave the ball still in the orange half. No one back, and Shock punishes the defense.
Afterthought couldn't get their offense rolling, but just about a minute in, the offense is rolling quite nicely for Afterthought.
Everyone getting involved, and Shock, unassisted on that one, gets his 14th goal of the season.
Now the ball bouncing back. Shock with the challenge and kills it. Dapper helping out. Up to Sathu. Sathu touching it. Almost getting a second hit. Shock has been a wizard in the air. Going for the flip reset. He got it. But Aeon cut the play out. Dapper coming in to help out Shock. Or Sathu rather, in the corner. Now Shock has to make the stop. Dapper going for the challenge. Shock misses the ball. Sathu has to dodge Demo and still manages to get that ball to the corner.
Oh. Aeon was looking for the double tap, but contacted the ball right when it was touching the wall, so it ended up pinching out. But RBG doing a good job on offense, but Aeon with a mistouch. Sathu coming down, and Rapid gets back in time.
Shock was afraid to commit. Didn't want to dive in with Dapper and give up the counterattack goal. Afterthought in the driver's seat in game 2. A 3-0 lead. RBG, they had some good pressure a few moments ago, but not the same RBG that we saw in game 1.
Yeah, and a team like Afterthought has the ability to change gameplay on a fly, and this game getting out of control, James. Sometimes it happens, but Afterthought is seeing mistake after mistake and capitalizing every single time.
Seabass, he is a great scorer, so much so that he can shoot on his own net.
Well, you got to be accurate everywhere.
And that doesn't count. He is the goal leader, but that one is not going to count for him. 4-0 Afterthought. This has been a beating as the 5th almost comes in, but Aeon was able to nick that ball, get the save. Sathu rushing in. Dapper can't get there in time. Aeon. Rapid also working with him in the corner, but a long clear comes through. Pass up to Aeon.
That's due to the fact that Aeon really pushed forward for Rapid. Both players in the same spot. Neither could get the ball, and just all it took was a soft tap to get it over their heads, and momentum swung once again over to Afterthought.
Momentum continues. They have been pummeling RBG, and no reprieve in sight for RBG. A pinch will send this ball bouncing towards net. Shock! Denied by Rapid. Quite the save. RBG now on the counter. Aeon shot towards net. Dapper saving it off his own backboard, and it sends it deep.
Too soft of a pass coming out from Rapid. If he wants to hit Seabass there, he has to put a lot of power on that one because the defense saw it coming.
Final minute. Sathu clearing it down. A stop from the midfield. Afterthought meeting every ball in the air. RBG can't find space. Seabass getting bumped around. Aeon with the stop. Sathu racing to it. It's going to bounce up off the ceiling. Good stop by Shock as well. Shock challenging every ball. Sathu going to stay airborne. He's going to overcommit. Net going to be vulnerable for a moment.
Oh!
And you see that lovely little touch from Rapid.
Hey, if you're down this much and you score a goal, make it a highlight reel play. Look at that from Rapid.
Rapid just changing the angle on that ball. And that net opening, a result from Sathu, and I believe it was Dapper, who both jumped after the same ball, and Sathu just said, I'm going for it. We're up by 4. It doesn't really matter at that point. And RBG making the most of it. So Afterthought crushed in game 1, now crushing RBG in game 2. A lot of back and forth we've seen in the rival series especially. Sathu just going to clear this out, go for the block, and he gets it. Afterthought winning game 2.
And more importantly, holding RBG to just one shot when there was about 30 seconds left. That goal that went in from Rapid, who stole it away from Seabass. But, I mean, it was a great redirect. Stole that one away.
He didn't even get credit for the shot. Look at that.
Shooting over 100% in this match.
That's going to help his shooting percentage for sure.
But 8 shots from Afterthought, and we're going to call it 1 from RBG, because that last one, they were just messing around. Afterthought was pushing forward. That's good defense. That's good midfield control. And more importantly, that's boost starving right there. You're not allowing RBG to get out of their half and start any form of offense.
And you look at the difference between game 1 and game 2, and to me the difference was Seabass as well. We saw that own goal from deep, and Seabass also making a mistake that led to another goal. There was multiple mistakes from Seabass in that game, and he is the star player. He is the player who's leading North American Rival Series in scoring. We saw the incredible ability he has in game 1, hitting that double tap. He has to be sharp. And if he's playing, not only just dull, but costing you goals, that is a bad sign for RBG.
Well, there's times that you can be dull, but not when you're playing Afterthought. They are going to punish, and we saw it at least twice, if not 3 times, where a simple mistake led to a goal against Afterthought. And when goals are so hard to come by at the top echelon of the Rocket League Rival Series, you don't want to make those simple little mistakes.
But a new game, a new opportunity for RBG. They made some mistakes early on. The game just got out of hand. Game 3, a fresh start.
Yeah, you just got to wash your hands and forget about game 2. It never even happened. Just stick to your game plan.
Dapper getting multiple touches on that ball in the air. Seabass clearing it up. Aeon with the backflip. Seabass running along the back. He doesn't have any boost. Still struggling. Gets the corner boost. And Sathu will hit that to the corner. Aeon attempting to stop. Can't get there. Dapper along clear. Seabass back to the corner. Center ball. Shock's last back. Shot towards net. Shock deflecting it. It goes off the backboard. Now the follow-up shot. That's going to be wide.
And that's what worked so well for them in game 1. Those left to right shots. So hard to defend, but also so hard to bury. As the angle, you gotta be spot on.
The far post shot, it's one that is left open more times than not. You expect the near post.
Oh, that's dangerous.
Rapid, clear off the corner. Seabass, good speed. He'll stay with the ball. Corner pass, double commit. Sathu staying with it, flicks it by Rapid, and Aeon will have to stop it. Another double commit from Afterthought. Seabass trying to find his teammate. Rapid with the double tap. That was almost something spectacular.
And he perfectly placed that ball to himself. Rapid, such a mechanical guru on the field. You gotta be aware when he gets control of that ball.
And we've seen it before. The shooting from RBG can be next level. Game 3 has been much closer. Game 1, all RBG out of the gate. Game 2, all Afterthought. Game 3 has been neck and neck. Shock attempting the flick. Dapper up with a quick follow, going for the double tap. And Seabass there to deny it. Another ball hammered back. This one's going to bounce off the elbow and down. The demo, the shot off the post, the follow-up from Dapper, and Afterthought take the lead.
But put your eyes on Sathu. He takes one out. He comes back out of his zone to push Aeon out of the picture to leave that net wide open. Perfect team play coming out from Afterthought.
Sathu, a blood-crazed lunatic, going for the demos, going for the bumps. And Sathu getting another demo on Seabass. Sathu getting challenged now. Dapper flicks it by. Numbers advantage shortly. Sathu slowing the play down. The push on the goal line. And the challenge. RBG escape but they were on thin ice there.
That ball was just teed up on the goal line, but two defenders from RBG sitting, waiting patiently. Shock puts that one up. That's on target, but Rapid gets back in time and, more importantly, gets that boost to clear this ball out of his half.
Aeon denying the backboard bounce. Pressure continuing to mount. But RBG has dealt with it nicely. Still down by one. Under a minute and a half left. Dapper launches this towards the backboard. Rapid is going to send it upfield to Aeon. Aeon's shot was on target, but Sathu blocking out the play. Rapid stopping. Shock hits it right at Seabass, who pops it up for Aeon. Aeon going for another hit. Gets a piece of the ball. Now Shock towards net. Double commit. This is bouncing off the ceiling. Aeon able to get to it and clear it downfield. Final minute. Aeon going up. Sathu doesn't make the read, but Shock is able to cut out the line.
And Rapid and Seabass pulling left and right positioning, left the midfield wide open. That's what led to that clear. And this one gets pinched out towards midfield, but Aeon's there. He's up, following the ball, going for a flip reset off the backboard, but Shock clears this one away. RBG retained possession, still chasing one goal.
You can sense the urgency from RBG as they pepper the net. A shooting opportunity for Seabass. Turned aside. Chance for Aeon. He puts it off the backboard. It's bouncing out to the middle. Popped up to the corner. Seabass takes control, attempting the center. Shut out by Dapper. Sathu with the stop. Another shot opportunity. Shock gets it out. Zero boost for Sathu. He throws it in reverse. The pinch sends it back out, and Shock makes sure the ball hits the ground. A nail-biter of a finish, but Afterthought close it out.
Ooh, hanging on by the skin of their teeth in match number 3. But they get the win, and more importantly, they hold Seabass to just one shot on target and just stifled the offense from RBG once again.
Someone get a shot of adrenaline and just go pluck that right on up, go stab Seabass with it, inject him. They need him to play like he was playing in game 1. He is the key, in my opinion, for RBG. He has to be playing well, and he was in game 1, but games 2 and 3, he has been struggling.
Yeah, he's the absolute catalyst of this RBG offense for sure. And even if he's not getting the goals, he is always present, whether it be going for someone in net or you see him passing the ball, and that's just not happening in offense. But it's all due to the fact of Afterthought. They're
playing well.
Their positioning is what's winning the game. That's what's winning the game. Watch where they're positioned, because that's how you want to play defense. They're not just sitting on all four wheels. They're making sure they're cutting off passing lanes, and they're playing fast with a purpose.
And the speed, you're right. There was one moment where Sathu missed a backboard read, but his teammates were backing him up so quickly. I believe it was Shock or Dapper that had just come in and cleared that ball immediately. And the speed of challenges in the air, in the midfield, certainly in favor of Afterthought right now. But that game was neck and neck. The only reason that game didn't go to overtime was the physical play from Sathu, getting the demo, getting the bump, and that overwhelming pressure.
RBG just coming off a shutout, needing to win this match as they are on match point. Should they lose this, they go down to 4-2 and out of top 2 contention for now, but the save from Aeon keeps them holding on.
Quality shot from Shock. Aeon forced to make that save. Hot start. And that shot finding its mark, Seabass. I was getting on him because you expect him to make great shots. He does it here.
But Rapid rolling through the zone to push Sathu back, and Seabass with the smart shot placement to go up high, realizing no way is Sathu going to be able to get up in time.
And he didn't wait for that ball to bounce either. A lot of times you see players slow down so they can get the power off the bounce, but he just attacked the ball and still got the power and placement.
That was the right idea from Dapper to pass that over to Shock, but Shock already moving forward, the momentum pushing forward, unable to really break and get to that ball.
Shock going for the shot, denied by Aeon. or Rapid rather. Aeon gets a demo on Sathu off screen. Aeon with the boost, flicks it by. Shock going for a challenge, and you see Aeon just going for that boost steal. Now a pinch will send this up the wall. A good stop from Seabass. This one's floating out in a dangerous spot. Rapid. Going for a challenge. Does get a piece of it out to the center. The shot follow-up from Seabass, and he sinks it again.
Keep doing what's working, and that's exactly what RBG continues with. A great challenge from Rapid, but the demo to open things up just a few seconds ago left the net wide open for Seabass, and he gets his second in match number 4.
Seabass making that statement game when they need him. But you pointed out, Subi, the challenge from Rapid, that effort to get to the ball quickly, that's what allowed the ball to leak out into the middle for Seabass. Seabass, the backboard deny. Aeon with the follow-up. Seabass with the block. It's going to send it down to the corner. This one bouncing. Sathu misses the boost and the ball there, so he had to recover a mistake from him, but it didn't cost Afterthought. But not the play you expect out of a player who's on a top team. Just some slight mechanical errors that we have seen from Sathu. The backboard miss, then that play there.
Yeah, we saw a huge one over the summer that led to an entire match loss from him. So that possibly in the back of his mind, but just shake it off, kid. You're all right.
They're trailing down 2 with half the game left to play. A game 5 looking to be inevitable. Dapper getting help from Shock. And this one somehow ping-ponging its way into the net.
Look at Dapper coming in and gets a Goomba on Aeon, and Shock decides to put that one in with a little help from RBG.
The Goomba stomp. Dapper just coming from above. And this is a game now just 1 goal separating them and a chance to extend it. A stop from Dapper. Aeon has to retreat. It looked like RBG was getting ready to run away with this, but with that play, RBG giving up some space for Afterthought to wiggle back in.
Yeah, it's like Rapid just essentially turned the ball over. When you're looking at Dapper in net, a 1v1 mechanical god, you got to come up with something a little more creative than just a straight shot right at his face, because he's going to turn that away. Aeon with a smart defense to put that off his own backboard, but a double commit could be worrisome, but that ball pokes out towards mid. Sathu up off the backboard. Shock is up, but got bumped. And RBG hold on for another offensive surge coming out from Afterthought.
Rapid clearing that ball down, does get the corner boost, and Afterthought's half gets the other one as well. So we'll see if boost becomes a problem for Afterthought in the near term. Rapid full on it, puts that down. See Shock getting it on the respawn. Going for another touch. Aeon popping that up high. Shot follow-up. It bounces off the backboard. Aeon perhaps thinking that that was going to get stopped down. Maybe he had a chance to go for a double tap.
Seabass going for an aerial bump there.
And that one floating across the middle. Afterthought starting to scramble. Seabass with the challenge. Aeon slowing down, trying to win the 50-50. It bounces back. Rapid over the wall, bouncing straight up. Seabass is there. Down and across. Dapper with the challenge. Seabass lets Aeon take it. Now up to Sathu. Sathu shooting opportunity towards net. And a save from Rapid. Aeon will clear it downfield. This one bouncing up near the backboard. Dapper will send it down. Sathu up with the challenge. He misses the ball. And now Shock. Ball bouncing back. Where is anybody? Sathu keeps the play alive. Dapper, hard hit downfield. Aeon down to the ground, and RBG take the win in Game 4. Rapid getting that MVP, but Seabass getting some key goals.
some key goals, key bumps, and we've talked about him so much. But Sathu with some crucial mistakes, crucial whiffs, and really putting himself out of position, that's going to be worrisome going into Game 5 for a player like that. You have to be able to shake it off and not pull your team down with you.
And what more could you ask for, Subi? What more could you ask for?
Game
the
5.
Final game of today, of the rival series. A matchup of top 4 contenders going the distance, going to Game 5. So this is what you love to see. It's all going to come down to this, but you're right. Shock, some critical mistakes. Or not Shock, Sathu with some critical mistakes. And we've seen him be such a good player, a player that can make plays. And you think back to the win they got from his demo and his bumps. He is a smart player. Just sometimes mechanically, he has been making mistakes, and that is not something that they can afford now, especially going into Game 5. Who will be that player for Afterthought to step up? Because Seabass, he got those key goals this game to even put RBG in a spot to win the series.
I don't know, to answer your question, who's going to step up, but one thing I do know is you cannot have any mistakes in Game 5. None. Whoever makes the first mistake in this game, they're going to absolutely allow a goal in the back of their net. I can guarantee you that, James.
A Subi guarantee, can take that to the bank.
And it's about $1.
Or 100 bits. As Sathu pops this up. Shock. Putting that down. Dapper with the challenge. And you know that these players are feeling it. That first goal going to be so important.
Oh, Rapid, a little hesitant there. That's indicative that this is Game 5. He realizes,
those
hey,
Game 5 nerves, baby.
You got to stay on defense. You don't want to get caught, pushed too far forward.
And if you overcommit, you put your team in a bad spot. You can tell these players don't want to be that player that makes that critical mistake that costs them the goal. But that hesitancy can also cost you. Sathu up quickly. The shot. It's going to find Seabass on the other end, who gets demoed. And Shock putting this down. Going for the backboard. Dapper with a key deny. You saw Aeon wanting that double tap. Pressure from RBG. Shock couldn't read it off the backboard. That shot floating off the elbow. Sathu can't touch it. And Seabass pounds it in.
And we were talking about how do you avoid demos? You have to be in net. That's what Shock did. He was too far back, couldn't get the challenge, and Seabass is there to put the first goal in for game number 5.
And it also looked like Sathu gotten bumped and gotten hit out of position slightly. I'd have to see the replay again. But RBG.
He's up.
And now that one off the crossbar. Dapper getting a demo. Counterattack chance. That one's going to be high off the backboard. And a breakup. A solid touch. Keeps that double tap from happening. And now the long shot. Will it find its mark? No, but Dapper is still able to get the save and bumping Aeon out of the play.
You could see that ball that was launched downfield. That's so much English on it. Trying to just curve it in around the post, but a miss from Seabass opens the net, and Shock ties the game up.
And Subi, this is where that voucher gets redeemed. The mistake. It looked like Seabass wanted to go for a block on Sathu. Both players had gone for a block. And when that happens, both players miss. It happens all the time. You see it.
And it leads to a 1-1 scoreline in game number 5. Two of the best teams in the rival series duking it out until the final minutes.
And we saw some elegant air moves from Seabass there, but it didn't result in a goal. And the tit for tat, my breath must smell bad.
I can confirm.
But tit for tat, the goal coming in right away for Afterthought. Now a chance again, Dapper. A big save. And Seabass floating that out. Dangerous spot.
Good touch back from Rapid to allow himself to get some boost and then push this ball towards midfield. Over to Seabass on target, but Sathu makes contact on that ball when his team absolutely needed him. But a poor touch there in the box, gets the bump. Seabass puts that on target, but once again, the ball cleared away.
Scary for Afterthought. RBG, a majority of the possession. That one play we saw with Seabass and Sathu both going for blocks, letting that ball leak through. That was the only way Afterthought was able to get back in. RBG controlling the tempo. Sathu, a good challenge. That 50-50 launches back towards net, and Dapper in position to make the save. Sathu, that ball was going to be high. Backboard bounce denied by Seabass yet again. He has been up on that backboard so much for RBG this series.
That one all the way downfield, but Sathu able to put it towards mid, and a touch. Seabass beats out Shock so fast up in the air. Good at reading the angles, and a great 50 from Aeon, but both teams trying to gain possession of the ball in midfield, neither one wanting to back up.
On that double commit, it was so important that Sathu bought time, and he was able to do it. Ooh. And that shot from Shock, he tries to go low. Not enough on it. Final minute of Game 5. We're tied up at 1 apiece. Seabass launches that to the corner, bounces back out. Seabass still with possession. A double commit. Shock has to get a hit here. He plays it safe and goes back. The back pass. Dapper needs to get back in time. And Sathu putting his team on alert.
30 seconds to go, James. Everything riding on this next goal. Certainly going to take the series.
Oh, and the double tap barely missing out. But RBG continued to hammer the backboard over and over. It seems like a matter of time before Afterthought will crumble. Another backboard bounce, and Rapid was on target.
The backboard read so perfect right now for Afterthought. The pass forward over to Dapper. Dapper off target, but Rapid puts it into the corner. Shot.
It
Can't
bounces.
make target.
Chance for Seabass, and it touches the ground. Overtime. Game 5. Next goal wins.
This is what everybody shows up for. These are the matches that make or break the best teams in the rival series.
A defining moment for these teams and their season. This is what it all comes down to. Dapper up in the air, he misses it. Shock has to help out. The nerves, you can tell, showing themselves. And the shot from Seabass. Follow off the post again. Follow from Rapid, and RBG take the series in overtime.
Seabass not giving up. A one shot, a two shot, a three, and Rapid to ring it in for RBG. They take the victory and propel themselves into just first place territory.
That's a let's go moment. That's a let's, you know what comms are, is let's go.
Well, I threw my pen,
yeah,
so it definitely was a let's go moment.
I picked Afterthought. I was rooting for Afterthought, but I love Rapid. I got to meet Rapid at Gamers for Giving in Michigan. He's a Michigan player over on the east side. And I love he is a player who I've always expected to be in RLCS one day. And with series like that, plays like that, he might be making that prediction come true. That was a stellar ending. And Seabass, the catalyst. You said he was the catalyst. And that play, just relentless attack. He hit the post probably 13 times.
Well,
in a matter of seconds.
He had 8 shots in the game.
And half of them came in that final play.
Rapid had 5, Aeon had 3, and Afterthought, I think, had 2 shots the entire game. They just outshot their opponents and just went with quantity over quality. And that's what led to the victory.
It certainly did, but it seemed like it was just going to be a matter of time. Afterthought was giving that space. Well, more it was RBG was taking that space. And it certainly proved to be true. RBG continuing to attack backboard, continuing to attack the net. It paid off. Rapid punching that one in. And what an overtime series.
How about, more importantly, you were wrong.
I was wrong.
Me and Lottie were right.
Yep, that's just the way it goes. I'm fine with it. It is the way it is sometimes, and that's the way it went.
Hey, look, it couldn't have gone any better for obviously, for obviously Subi and I. However, I mean, what an exciting game to finish with. That was insane. And that really is the definition of two teams that are so level-headed in terms of their playing ability. It doesn't get much closer than a Game 5 overtime, 1-goal wonder. I mean, that was insane. And for Rapid to score in that fashion with the triple rebound off the back there.
Yeah, see,
I'm shook.
RBG, they have proven that their offense is high-powered.
Yep.
Seabass was the goal leader coming into today. He had a couple moments where he was shaky in the series, but overall, RBG, that offense, they were going against Afterthought, who was the number one defense coming into today, and they put him down.
I feel like Seabass has really shown us today that when he's on point, he really is the playmaker for this team. But when he's having a few hiccups, really actually could be the game ender for them as well. So that's a really interesting component of their gameplay. They really need to start switching that up a little bit more and depending, I think, maybe on the other two as well as Seabass because, you know, no one's always going to perform to their best ability on the day. That is just going to happen. You're going to have your highs and lows as a player, but it's how you pick your teammates up again. So I think Seabass needs his two teammates to stop picking up some of the slack from him a little bit more.
Well, I think they had some good moments.
I
though.
agree.
You know, they had some good moments.
They did. But when he's underperforming,
you're right.
Right.
In the series where Seabass struggled, there wasn't anyone who was able to carry that win, right? And I get that point. But overall, RBG, that took a team effort to really keep the pressure at what it was. That dial was cranked up, especially in overtime, shot after shot coming in. But you're right, Seabass, there's something about, like, he is the guy on that team. He's the dude you look to really lead the offense. But overall, a good team win for RBG.
An incredible team win.
And I know, like, you might be talking about Aeon here because he doesn't put a ton of shots. Well, he puts a ton of shots, but he doesn't get a lot of goals, doesn't get a lot of assists. But he's the one that's starting the offense. That's the reason you're not getting assists. He's in there. He's putting the ball in the corner. He's bailing out. And what happens when they clear the ball long? Aeon's there to pick up defense and launch it back into offense. So, I mean, he's performing, but you're absolutely right. When Seabass isn't hitting his shots, nobody else is showing up. Is it worrisome? I mean, they lost to Charlotte.
You know, if they got to hitch their horse to the wagon, and that wagon is Seabass, that's not a bad thing,
Just
right?
keep feeding him. Keep feeding him.
Exactly.
I love that. I love that analogy. That's fantastic. I don't know about you guys, but I really want to know what that's done to the standings. So let's have a look right now and see exactly where our teams are sitting on this leaderboard. So we've got RBG eSports right at the top of the board there with 5 wins under their belt and only 1 loss. Charlotte Phoenix tucking in under there as well with the 4 wins, 1 loss. Do you think Charlotte Phoenix will start to overtake RBG eSports with the way that they've been going these weeks?
It's tough to tell. Both those teams looking very solid. And I think we're going to have to wait to see that matchup again in the playoffs. That's what I expect.
You need a 6-sided die to figure out who's going to get first place. I mean, it's anyone's ball game. But with the way that RBG was playing today, if you were matched up against them in their final 3 matches of the season,
those are the teams. Those are the teams right now. This series proved it, that the teams at the top, the 2 teams you're looking to make it in through that playoff, are certainly RBG and Charlotte Phoenix. Those are the teams.
Absolutely. We've certainly got tons more teams coming your way tomorrow as well because 11:30 a.m. PST is when the pre-show starts for RLCS. So that's super exciting. Action doesn't end today. We've got plenty more to come your way. Gentlemen, thank you so much for joining me today. It was an incredible week, number 3. I'm super excited for next week as well. And thank you guys so much for joining us too and sticking with us and supporting all of your favorite teams. Week 3 has been filled with upsets, game 5s, and hope for a lot of our rival teams. But what is it going to do to the standings next week on week 4? Who knows? But we'll find out next Friday when we're back again for Rocket League Rival Series.